What am I doing here all alone? I got things that I gotta do. Waiting for my friends to come along. I don't mean to sound...
What up, everyone? We're just waiting for our friends to come along. Thank you for joining us. I'm Salty.
And I'm Savage.
Emmy award-winning Savage.
Oh, that's not what it says on it, but that would be a lot cooler if it did.
What, Emmy? Oh, well,
Emmy
it has your
award-winning
name on
Savage.
it. Hey, you know what my name is?
There you are. Sean Salter.
Oh, there you are.
There I am.
In a major primetime television show. Mwah.
My dirty name coming out of James Spader's mouth. What up, everybody? How you guys doing?
It sounds better when he says it. What's up,
It
everybody?
does. How's everyone doing in the chat? Is the chat buzzing? We got some people. Thank you for coming. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit the share button. Let your friends know. And then everyone on X, how dare you come to YouTube, join the show, watch the show. What up, Jim Tells You? How you doing, brother? All right. Anyway, we got a special guest with us this week. But before we introduce them, how was your week, Savage?
My week was all right. I finally got to see Deadpool and Wolverine.
Finally.
It was
So we could talk about a
good.
little bit of, we should get your thoughts on that later. Maybe our guest KLAUS will have some thoughts on the Deadpool movie as well.
It was awesome. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. We had a great time. Waited until the very end and everything. We love it.
For us here, I believe it is officially become fall. One, because our elm trees are starting to drop leaves that are red, and it's very beautiful. And two, my ears are so damn stuffy, and it happens every time the seasons change. My ears get super stuffy that I do the Felix Unger. And if you don't know that movie reference, I pity you.
Just get out. Just get out.
It ain't fall yet. It is here, my friend. It is here.
Welcome.
My ears know it. The trees know it.
Uncapped.
What up, Henry? How you doing, man? We appreciate you being here.
Henry, what up? What up?
All right, should we bring in our guest? Actually, let's do a little introduction for him first.
Yeah.
He's a comic book writer. He actually does a lot of art himself. He designs the characters a lot. I know that he works with a lot of other artists. He could tell us a little bit more about it. He's got a really exciting comic book that he's going to talk about later that you guys should check out. Pretty awesome, dude. Amazing radio voice. I'm very envious. Dude, welcome to the show, VONSTER.
What is up, guys? Thanks for having me.
Oh.
I'm excited. I get to hang out with my kind of people for an evening. Let's do this.
That's right, man.
My kind of people.
So what's up, man? Thanks for being here. This is VONSTER, Von KLAUS. You'll get his links. We'll be posting his links. We have a pinned link in the chat to his comic book. You guys can check out the Indiegogo, Kataru, Witch Hunter. What's the tagline? This is such a great tagline.
Witches get stitches.
So you guys can check that out. We'll be posting his Twitter link, his Rise Again Comics link as well. But he's going to be with us for the entirety of the show. So let's just get into it. What are we talking about, Savage?
What are we talking about? All right. Well, first of all, we're talking about, as we all know, Deadpool and Wolverine was absolutely fantastic and did incredible numbers at the box office, unlike anything that's been seen recently, especially Borderlands.
I did not see that coming.
Borderlands has been
Is that sarcasm, Vaughn? Is that sarcasm?
It's not.
It's not?
I thought America would be like, "Oh, Kevin Hart, you have our heart," and they would make some money off of this. I was just like, it's just more trash for the heat, being a negative creep that I am. But America heard me and just followed suit. Well, we don't have as much money to take our family to these expensive things anymore. Yeah. We're way more picky. So
inflation is a bitch.
We all spent our Wolverine money already. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I have to admit, I moved to small town USA from Los Angeles, and the the local theater only has 2 screens. They only have 2 movies. There's only 2 showings a day of those 2 movies. And for a viewing of the movie, a soda and a popcorn, it was $9.
That's
For-
not bad.
For
That's
everything.
not bad.
That's
For
amazing.
Everything is
that-
better in the middle of the
That's like
country.
1940s money.
And that's because I got a large. That was because I got a large soda and a large.
Well, I would say more like 1990s, but still, it's
Sure.
better.
Well,
It's
I
better.
forget. In the 90s, it was all $5 for a movie,
Yeah.
and then a few
$5
bucks for your popcorn. You were
Yep.
good. Like got your drink. You were good. You had your $10 like treat, right?
Yep. Yep.
Now it's like 50.
Yeah, you could go to the movies in the 90s. I remember seeing Batman, and it cost like $4.50 for the ticket.
Yeah.
And then the remainder of it, like you basically get a $10 voucher, and you got the movie and a popcorn and a soda, and you were good to go for Batman.
Yeah, it's that old school
And-
kind of feeling where you walk in and you're like, I don't have to worry about like, oh, am I gonna get goobers? Should I get the thing? Am I gonna get popcorn? I don't know. Should I get it? Maybe I'll not have a soda. Like, no, you're getting a popcorn and a soda. You're gonna sit down. You're gonna enjoy a movie. It's
Full
gonna be
experience.
it's a small theater, it is, but it's still totally worth it to sit down.
And let me tell you, sneaking that frozen Mars bar in your pants to the movie theater is a treat in and of itself.
Oh man, that'll surprise your date.
Self-warming.
Well, I don't think I was old enough to be dating then, but
She's like, I knew you were.
Is that a frozen Mars bar in your pants, or are you just happy to see me?
What's the worst thing you guys ever snuck into a movie theater?
I don't know. That's a good question.
I mean, alcohol for sure.
Yeah.
Am I allowed to say on YouTube? I don't
other
know.
people. I don't know. I mean,
Okay. Some other dudes.
other illicit substances. I mean, I
A self-defense.
trafficking? You've been
A
human
self-defense system. A self-defense system.
You had a self-defense system,
the back in the days of
like Deadpool's hair system.
A personal defense system. Personal defense system.
a personal defense system that you wouldn't
Were
normally
there
bring.
were there some kids picking on you, Salty?
No.
Nope.
That would. I mean, I guess as a kid, no, I didn't sneak a smuggle in as a kid. I meant as an adult. That's the most. No, I think as a kid, like copious. I now remember Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
In and out. I snuck in an entire In and Out meal.
Well done. Because you knew it was a long one,
That is
That's
so
like a
good.
feast.
Yeah. So you had it in under the jacket, it was the winter time, so you could wear the jacket, and you just walked in with your little, the 2 double cheeseburgers, 2 fries, and a large Coke. That was
So
Hell yeah.
So the none of this enjoyment was had at Borderlands movies, apparently.
hey, look, long time no see,
Borderlands
Carafro.
love.
Real quick, we want to shout out to Carafro.
Hey,
Thanks for
Carafro.
being here, Cara. We appreciate it.
What up? All right, so Eli Roth's Borderlands movie had a devastating box office debut amid negative reviews and fan reaction. But the CEO of Gearbox, Randy Pitchford, has found the silver lining. This is pretty great. I'm not going to lie. This is going to be fantastic. So the film pulled just 8.8 million in the US and Canada on its opening weekend, plus 7.7 million overseas for a global total of 16.5 million. As a point of comparison, the incredibly successful Deadpool and Wolverine pulled in 96 million on its opening day in the US alone. Sources tell IGN that a significant portion of Borderlands' $115 million budget and $30 million marketing and distribution costs, so that's $145 million, are already covered by international pre-sales. Are they? So Pitchford worked as an executive producer on the film adaptation of Borderlands and isn't letting the underwhelming critical and commercial response get him down. In fact, he took to Twitter over the weekend, the same weekend the movie opened in theaters, to highlight the positive takeaway from the backlash. And this is pretty great. This is an interesting twist. He says, "So what you're saying is you like what my friends and I do with our Borderlands video games even more than you like what some of the biggest and best cast and crew of filmmakers on the planet have done. I'm super flattered. We're working extra hard for you on what's next."
The cope.
Like, we really love that you love this video game way more than you love the hundreds of millions of dollars we
Hint,
invested.
hint.
Oh my God, please go watch the movie. Oh dear.
Yeah.
That's just painful.
Oh my.
He's the CEO, right?
And this will also
got to be the king of spin.
This is the king of spin
to keep his job.
You'll notice there's a typo in the end where it says we're working extra hard. I'm sorry, extra hard for FOUR.
Yeah.
So and then the sharp-eyed people
game.
are like, oh, this isn't the first time he's dropped a hint about a 4th Borderlands game.
Right.
So it's like,
I wonder what game he'll do.
You know what I have to say to that? You know what I have to say to that?
Douche chill.
Yeah.
yeah, the Borderland viewing parties are basically douche chills right now.
Oh my gosh.
Do you
dude,
think it'll become
seriously.
some cult hit or just like another Battlefield Earth?
I think that the scores on Rotten Tomatoes for the fans would be better if that was the case.
Yeah, they pretty bad. I haven't seen.
I mean, I feel very. I hope you're saying Battlefield Earth, like how incredibly still negative it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Because
that's the bad part.
I'm thinking that's where this is going. I'm thinking that
okay.
Because there are it's very difficult because you have fans, you have people who are fans of Kevin Hart, you have people who are super fans of like Kate Blanchett, you have fans of Jack Black, people who are coming from all over and they want to see this movie, but nobody's leaving happy. So you're like, what did they do? Like what
Eli
Roth
they missed the boat because they should have first off, the cast was not the right cast. They should have got I mean, the cast should have just been different. The cast was terrible. The cast was executives being strategic, going, we don't have enough faith in the video game fans to come see this movie, so we're gonna handpick people that we think are studio successes and then put them in. Hey, what up, Katie? Katie, welcome. Thank you for being here. You know what I mean? So it's like I would rather see old ass Bruce Campbell in Borderlands than Kate Blanchett, you know what I mean? And I think that would have been a much better casting for the fans.
I mean, I like Kate Blanchett, and I've seen her do some great stuff and liked her for years, actually. But to see her in this, I was like, come on, stop fucking around.
Somehow even Kate Winslet would have been better. It's just it just doesn't. It just didn't seem appropriate.
No.
You're like Kate Blanchett. Really though?
Yeah.
I feel like first of all, and I don't mean to be rude, ma'am, but I feel like you might be a little old for this film.
Yes.
And,
I mean, character
also you're way too talented for this film.
Yes.
And also you're too good for this film.
And
she's sitting on the yacht she got from making this film right now going, whatever. Kevin Hart should have been the biggest name they cast, and then they should have just put a cast of fools around him and just went with it. And some of these people might have had careers, and some of them maybe not. But it just
I think Kevin Hart might have been the bigger mistake actually than Kate Blanchett.
Okay.
I'm not gonna.
Okay.
I'm thinking I don't know. I think people there's superhero fatigue. They say there might be some Kevin Hart fatigue. You know.
I mean, he is everywhere. The guy has. I've personally been to his studio in the San Fernando Valley. Wow. It was actually up close to. It was in Chatsworth, up kind of closer to your old place, Salty. But it's a sprawling. I mean, he has multiple studio spaces where he shoots various shows at all times, plus a VO recording booth for whenever he needs to do voiceovers or any other talent that he knows needs to do voiceovers. He has a full kitchen and a chef that cooks stuff for him. And he's there on it's unbelievable. And yes, I think people probably have a little bit of Kevin Hart fatigue.
Yeah. Just a tad.
Well, I always get weirded out if I'm dating a chick and her mom knows the comedian is I love him. I'm going to go see him. That's when I'm like, oh no, I don't know if you're cool anymore, dude.
when mom started going to see Dane Cook.
Oh my gosh, no.
You're like, oh my God, he's so funny. And everyone's
Sorry, Dane.
Never mind.
Okay, now let's get to the next obvious thing. Jamie Lee Curtis. What are you doing?
Dusty,
I'm mommy of a lady. What are you doing in this movie? That's supposed to be a hot little short-haired bombshell character.
I don't know. Is it supposed to be a hot little short-haired bombshell?
Yeah. You look her up. If you look it up, you'll be like, why do they cast Jamie Lee Curtis just acting like a substitute teacher? like in this movie.
Well, because that's what she looks like now, right? I
Yeah.
mean, at her age with her short hair.
She's an older lady, and I love her.
No, it's like
not in this movie. You know,
she's the substitute teacher's
Do some Halloween
mother-in-law.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys see those new Halloween movies?
No.
I have not. I stopped at H2O or whatever, which is the Jamie Lee Curtis one where she first came back. I was actually working in a video store at the time, so I was all over it. And the one, I think the one previous to that, I was actually kind of a big Michael Myers fan, and the previous Halloween to that, I think I watched in the theater as a kid. It was absolutely.
I couldn't get through. There were like 3 of them. I could only get through the first 2, and I was just like, I can't. Like, it's not doing it for me. And I love Halloween.
It's a lot easier to absorb it when you're a little younger, kind of with your friends or something like that. You know, you're out and you're just, I don't know, you've been high. Or
And I mean the remake ones too. I love the original ones, man. But like the like that guy's, they handed him The Exorcist to do a trilogy after he scored with those Halloween trilogy. And he made that one movie and then he bailed, man. He was out.
Well, my hot take on horror movies is there's no good horror movies except for The Shining, and The Shining is good because it's not a horror movie.
Oh, The Shining is a deep, dark, psychological.
I'm not a big horror. I don't like horror movies. So when people talk about horror movies, I'm just like, I don't know what to talk about.
I don't know about these movies.
I don't like any of them. I'm that guy. Like, I don't like any of them. So
no, there's something about the genre of horror where some people just, they won't do it. They're not into it. They don't want to see it. Like I meet people like that all the time. Actually, you don't meet that with other genres though, which is what I think is interesting.
Yeah, I
don't want to watch a comedy. So
I will say, I do like watching Scream with my wife because we just laugh. They're so bad and funny. So it
is a funny movie.
And I guess Psycho's a horror movie, and I like that one too. But I'm like, it's not a horror movie. It's a thriller. You know, like I love thrillers.
Room 237 documentary Uncapped Turtle is a referencing. I've seen it, and it's a pretty in-depth documentary.
It's okay. It's okay.
There are a few things that it brings up that I'm like, well, that's just them latching onto another one of the little Kubrick conspiracy things. But for the most part, it's a very good documentary. Definitely worth a watch if you're interested.
It's worth watching, but there's a lot of conjecture in there. And I always hate documentaries that are chock full of conjecture. I'm just like, oh my God. I want an actual documentary where we go into like reality, not like your weird, like, although if they had I guess maybe it's the presentation, because if they just were presenting like what they thought the movie was saying to them, like as an art form, it would have been a much more compelling documentary than the way it was presented. It was so maybe that's just me, splitting hairs.
Like we live in a weird era for documentaries where there's more of them than ever, which is fantastic. But more people are using them to frame their own opinions and ideas than ever too. Like there's a lot more propaganda based.
So check this out. So there's so many documentaries. This is pretty amazing. There's so many documentaries that there was a couple that was a volcanologists. So that was their super passion, and they loved to film themselves doing all this volcanology stuff. And they shot all this footage of themselves, and they were working on this documentary, and then they ended up perishing one day come on, they're volcanologists, and they went all over the world. Like they were intense. Like they would go down to the edge of the stuff and test a lot. Like they had the gear and all that stuff. Right. So, so they shot basically a documentary all themselves that I believe somebody else then got and then edited together later. And like, this is the story that they wanted to tell. So then Werner Herzog, the incredible orator and documentarian, did another documentary on volcanoes where he took a bunch of their footage and he recut it and narrated it
creepily over it.
So he basically told their entire story. He took their footage, like he paid for it because he's Werner. He's got the money. He purchased the rights to the footage and recut all their footage and truncated it within his own film, basically making a second documentary of the exact same thing that already existed, but now it's narrated by Werner Herzog, so it's super good.
Right.
Twisting and violent and aggressive.
They stand there in the gaze of amazement as the volcano unleashes its incredible power that is unmatched anywhere in the universe.
Oh my gosh, I love
But
it, man.
that's
But
how
you have,
many-
you have to add like a hint, like a tremble of madness a little bit every now and then to the voice.
Yeah.
Like they succumb to the liquid death.
Yeah.
You know, like he's a little bit crazy sometimes with his. It's great.
Strangely enough, this video is sponsored by Liquid Death, the water company.
tie-in. Boom.
Oh man, so
Money.
good.
Bing, ching. I love it.
Yeah. So and yeah, again, and Grizzly Man, Kara Fro bringing it up. Grizzly Man. It's basically all this other guy's footage that he was
I
shooting.
was gonna bring that up.
He recut it, and he's like,
Don't worry, I will tell your story.
Yeah.
In
And
your
he told
afterlife.
it because it's a different story than the others. The Grizzly Man doc that strokes his balls, and he's a great humanitarian. And then Werner Herzog is like, he was out of his mind. It's fantastic. It's dark side of the guy.
Look at him,
Truth.
completely calm when he should be pooping in his pants.
Amazing. It's a great documentary too. I love that one. It's
so
crazy character.
So it's I mean, yeah, and the documentaries there are. I've always been a big fan of documentaries, and you also get like those UFO kind of documentaries going on. And there was one that,
Oh God, Amazon is like a treasure trove of like the most random, low budget, crazy documentaries on Bigfoot and UFOs
they will buy
you could ever
anything
imagine.
that Netflix hasn't bought. They're
Yeah, anything too. It gets bad, man.
They're
You
like-
gotta take your chances.
They're like ancient aliens. Okay, double ancient.
I'm not saying they were there, but they were fucking there.
It's fantastic.
It's amazing, man. I've actually I made a game of seeing if I could put like all the Bigfoot documentaries on my queue, like to just like see which ones are good, which ones aren't, you know. And I don't even believe in Bigfoot, you know.
We got a comment. We got a comment for the guest from Uncapped Turtle. I'm going to continue making Chris Jericho references in regards to your guest's facial similarities until I acknowledge fair warning.
Dude,
well, that is a compliment because Chris Jericho is one of the greatest wrestlers in WCW and WWE history.
guess
Okay.
so.
Do you mean the lead singer of Fozzy, Moon Goose McQueen?
I freaking love Chris Jericho. Would he come out and he'd be like,
Well, I'm not gonna lie, guys. It has a girl told me I look like Chris Jericho, and then we ended up, you know, hooking up. So like I can't get, you know what I mean? So when people are like, you look like Chris Jericho, I'm like, yeah, all right,
yeah,
I got
well,
it.
you know, how
Still got it.
what's this gonna get me? Okay.
Did we say what's up to Voshnik? Voshnik is here.
Oh, what up, Voshnik? How are you, man?
Nice axe. He's talking about the axes.
Yeah, he loves guitars. Vashnik loves
love
the
the axes,
guitars,
too.
knows the guitars. Real
You
quick,
totally have a guitar shaped like an axe, don't you? Back there.
he should.
I have an axe
seems
shaped
like
like,
your
Bad
next
Viking.
move.
I have an
Bad
axe
Viking.
shaped like a guitar.
Yeah.
Real
Cool.
quick, if
do.
you guys
They
are
look like
watching,
guitars behind you, but now I realize you've got straight up real axes.
no, he's got real axes. He's got guitar axes. He's
That's
got
just awesome.
double headeds, jersey pattern, all kind. He know
I didn't
the
get-
man knows his
Got
axes.
my one guitar. I need to go get my self defense axe, but
Real quick though, if you guys are watching on X, we would ask that you come on to YouTube, join the chat, hit the like button, share, and subscribe, and then also click the link that is pinned at the top. That will get you to one of the coolest comic books that's out right now. Actually, that's a good segue, right?
I think it's a pretty good segue.
That's a pretty good segue. Let's get to it, and then we'll get to our top 5 because it's all related.
no
So-
rush.
You know what? You have a comic book, Vaughn.
This
that
guy.
seems to be all I have these
You
days.
have a comic book. It's a nice comic book. I like the comic book. You know what we're going to do? We're going to watch the trailer for your comic book. We're going to look at the Indiegogo. And then we're going to let you talk about it. Let's just watch the trailer because that's always the good thing, right? Let's get this thing going.
Let's lube with the trailer. Savage is into it.
You know, Savage, when we're playing the guests comic book trailer, you don't have to do fair use on that. I mean,
but it was pretty fair that we were using it. Though.
it was pretty fair. It was pretty fair.
I don't. Who composed that music? I don't know.
So we got 360 backers. There's a lot of different packages, guys. Like this. So what I love about this, Vaughn, is like it's Chusangara, right? Like it's basically Chusangara.
That was an awesome trailer.
Yeah, I mean, I love.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
I love the whole like Japanese samurai. I mean, this is basically a manga book. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it's very manga inspired.
I mean manga. I always pronounce it wrong. Manga.
Sure, whatever. But I didn't want to make a manga. I just wanted to use like the style visually and tell my own dark. Like I love like old school samurai movies. And I love ninja shit. And I mean like that cool 80s time when like the ninja reigned supreme, you know? And so I've always had a love for that. And from that, Kitaru was kind of born. This character, this dark, roguish witch hunter who treads alone from town to town, solving mysteries and then moving on, taking on horrific demonic witches and sussing them out with his detective skills. But then you get like this brilliant action, this brutal action where a witch hunter has to take out a witch. It's no picnic. They have to use all kinds of tools and an arsenal made of different magical materials to take on these super beings they can turn themselves into to kind of cut you up and spit you out within seconds. They're poisoners behind the scenes, but once you corner them, they monster out. And Kitaru's this awesome roguish detective clad in all black with the crest of the witch hunter. People respect it, but they also fear it, you know? They work for the shogunate. They're trained from kids onward to become these Sherlock Holmes samurai badasses, kind of, who can suss out the witch, you know? Because they're always in hiding behind the scenes, poisoning things. It's kind of a metaphor for a lot of people in our society right now.
I think
that's the witch.
It's very, like, so I worked on a movie called Ronin. 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves, and like when I saw this, I mean, and it was a terrible movie. It did the same thing that it was the Chusangura, which is like the ghost stories of Japan with the mythological monsters.
The cinematography and some of the graphic design and all that stuff was pretty good. Whether or not the movie was.
It was beautifully shot, but it was a terrible. But this is like, so for me, this is like that done right, because what they were trying, like they were trying to do something very with the, you know, using the mythological Japanese monsters and kind of the horror with this, you know, the blend of the ninjas and the samurai.
Exactly. Japan, I have like a book here on like just ghosts and demons from Japan, so I could study up. That, you know, it was something that I knew if with the right balance of action and intrigue and cool characters, I could make really cool, make it really like, because Japanese horror, in my opinion, is some scary, twisted shit.
Yeah.
They embrace stuff we don't, and there's different horror things that they get into. It's like a genre unto itself, and their mythology is so robust with demons and ghosts that all do different weird things. Like in my book, sometimes I'll read it just to laugh because it'll be like a baku siru, and you're like, what the hell's that? And it'll be like, ghost who watch you go poop, you know? And you're just like, what the hell? They've got a lot of ghosts, man. They deal with a lot of ghosts in Japan. So it's pretty funny. Yeah. But, you know, you learn about these different horrors, though. And I love horror and all my stuff. I grew up on as a VHS kid watching all the cool horror movies and all the great 80s classics, and it's what kind of like informs my work, I think. But this was more my love for stuff older, like classic samurai sword and slasher films, and how to make it, you know, Lone Wolf and Cub, and take that and make it into something like kind of Sherlock Holmesy with a little mystery, and just, I don't know, I was playing with ingredients, and it is kind of my first full color big book that I've ever done, that I made sure I got done type thing. You know what I mean? I made this some years back. Inked it myself on like shitty copier paper from Kinko's. I put my heart and soul into this, and the end result seems to be that people buy it expecting it to be all right, but when they read it, they love it.
Well, it's because you're a good writer. And so this is you have a lot of your own like art in here, right? Like a lot of this is your concept art. This is your character design. Am I remembering that correctly?
These are shots from my book Necrovanicon, and this is me. This is all the work I do to make my comics and all the design work I like to do. Because I mean, I see these characters and I need someone else to get it and like bring it to life. Yeah. So I like to come armed when I propose an artist. I like to be like, here's your character list. Here's what they're about. Here's your script. It's done. It's perfect. Here's your character designs. Like I basically make a blueprint for a comic and I say, do you want in? You know, do you want
Yeah.
This? So
hey, real quick, what up, Dr. Till? Ministry of the Dude is a hilarious show that is pretty much daily, like at 7 o'clock Central Time, my time, Savage's time. You guys need to check it out. We always love seeing you in here, Dr. Till. Thanks for being here, man. Yeah, dude, this looks really good. I actually, full disclosure, I finally ordered it today. Because I was like, dude, I haven't ordered it yet. Even though I've been like retweeting your stuff and like me and Vaughn were on a show, Pop X, a friend of ours, Niall Scala. You guys should check out that show, Pop XP on YouTube. Really, really good. So we were both guests on that show, pimping our books. And I was super stoked when I got to be on a show with him because Vaughn, you're a cool dude, but this comic looks so good, but it took me that long to finally back in. I do apologize, but look, I really want to check out these perks. So tell us about the Complete Hunt. What is in this?
The Complete Hunt is all the books. You get the main cover by Oren, who did a fantastic job on it. And then you get Necrovanicon, my art, like over 25 years of my work. It's kind of me from high school till now. So it's not just my art. It's like an evolution, kind of telling a story of it. A lot of times there'll be art in it that like I didn't get paid for, that someone like scammed me out of. All this like different idiot young artist crap that we all kind of have dealt with is in here. And I don't know, it kind of seems to tell a weird little story of success in the end. While giving you the best, like the coolest designs for characters, t-shirts, you name it. It's like kind of all my design work. And then we've got an awesome Kataru variant cover that is Preston Acevedo killed it. Beautiful painting. It's just
and then there's options. I want to point out too, like real quick before we do move on, but again, this link is pinned to the Indiegogo is pinned at the top of the chat. But also you have add-ons for your other books, so people can check out your other books because you got a lot of other books, right?
Indiegogo made those like little tiny icons.
They're
gigantic.
So big. But you also have add-ons for your other books, which are really, really good. You guys should just check out the link. Like he's got Terror in the Trenches, did very well on Indiegogo. I think what that campaign end up doing, it did really well, right?
96, I think.
Oh yeah, almost six figures. Wow.
Yeah.
So
could have been easily.
Yeah, Terror in the Trenches did like over $90,000. This book should be doing the same. You guys need to check it out. Seriously, manga. I always say manga because I'm a dirty Western, and that's what I grew up calling it. Stupid American.
Great.
But I'm not ever been a big manga fan. Right. I love anime. But I never got into the comic books because I love Western comics, so that's my thing. But cool. This looks great, and I can't wait. I really, honestly, can't wait to read it. I really can't.
Thanks, buddy. I don't know. It was one of those things where I looked at it and I was like, why do I have this great story sitting here? I could redo a lot of this and make it, polish it to perfection. Make a killer book out of this. I had a few fans read like a free version of it after I hit with Monster MD. They were like, we would buy this book. We would buy this book, So I had a lot of encouragement from awesome fans. Thank you for that. And you can get my first 2 books also. So theoretically, you can get all the books I've published myself at a Rise Again Comics so far, the whole library in one purchase, if you want.
And I will tell you guys, Vaughn posted on X a couple of weeks ago some prints of this book, and I was so impressed with what I was seeing just with an iPhone, video of the quality of the print. I was all, Vaughn, who's your printer? Give me the info. Holy crap, that looks so good. So I was like, I need to know the printer because I want my comic book, Silence Do Good, to look as good as what he's been posting. And again, follow him on X, guys, because he posts a lot of stuff. He mixes it up. He's you know, he's a little salty like I am and a little savage like Savage is. So we're stoked to have you here, man.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. We talked. I don't know if it was on the thing or it was before when we were chatting, but you were kind of a PlayStation 1 guy.
Yeah.
So was there? I know that on PlayStation 1 there were a few ninja-based games. Was there any one of those in particular that you kind of drew from? Because I know that there was one that was like a really it was like a clandestine. You were always sneaking around and like so I don't know. I don't remember if it was like Bushido Blade or I don't remember which one it was. Was it Tenchu where you were always sneaking around and getting up behind
Stealth
people?
Assassins.
It was Tenchu, baby. That game is dope.
I love
so
that game.
Good. And that's the like that was one of the things that I was thinking of when you were like Sherlock, kind of like solving the thing, but also being a ninja. I went back to sitting in a buddy's room, like just after high school or something like that, and there, you know, a couple guys sitting on the couch all playing this, trying to be all stealth, like, okay, swim through the water, now get up on the side, all right, don't make noise, man, don't make noise.
Yeah. The conversations people have while trying to help each other through a game are gold.
Yeah.
You should write them down, record them. People should do a YouTube channel of just that. Your buddies encouraging you, tell you how to play. But yeah, no, Tenchu was a big one in my house with my brother and I playing for hours and hours and having to like switch the controller over, like, oh, you fucked up, man. You know, it was a damn good time. And
That was a good
You can
game.
try one more time.
I don't know if that game came to mind as I was making this, but it was, I really do. Even the sound effects from that game like stick with me to this day, of the feet going like, it just sticks. It's one of those great games that stuck with me on PS1 for sure.
Yeah,
that
it was
Symphony of the Night.
I honestly, I don't think I ever actually played the game. I was just in the room so many times when friends did that it had an impression on me. I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
No, Bushido Blade was a good game, but Tenchu, that is definitely, we should do a top 5 PlayStation 1 video games. That actually needs to happen. We should have Vaughn back for that one. Tenchu might make that list because damn, that was a good game on PlayStation 1.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that was a good game. All right, so maybe we'll probably play that trailer again, maybe in the second hour.
Sure.
But because we love Vaughn and we love his comic, and
Thanks,
we need to have you back, bro. But I don't know, Savage. It might be a good time for the top 5 since we're talking about video games.
I think it is. I think it's a good time. Are you ready?
I'm
Are you ready?
Oh yeah.
So we were talking about video games. We were talking about Borderlands, the top 5 video games that would make a better and more successful movie than Borderlands.
So, like we did last week, and we will continue to do with our guests, they have not seen the top 5. Me and Savage pick the top 5, and then our guest gets to react, and then give their own 2 cents essentially. So yeah, there you go. So we argued, we debated, and we came up with a pretty good top 5 list. And then we had other video games on here, and then we had to look up and be like, what? They're doing that game as a movie, and then this game's being a movie? Okay, so a lot of the games that I personally wanted to pick apparently are in production. What's up with that?
Wow.
There's entirely too many movies or things in production right now, and what it is, they so many of these studios, especially the Netflix and the Amazon Primes, they buy up the rights to this stuff, and they assign like 1 or 2 people to the project, which makes it on the books like then it's a project and someone's working on it. And
Brock the Casbah. We had Metal Gear Solid on our short list, and it's already a movie apparently, so we had to kill it. And Julio Scissors corrects it. MGS is already a movie, to be honest, and it is. It's very bad, and it's the new one's in production. So That's weird.
There's rumored to be another one in production with Oscar Isaacs playing the lead role,
Which is I don't.
what?
I'm surprised they didn't get what's his name that plays literally everything else right now. Pablo whatever Pascal.
Pedro
Pedro.
Pascal.
Well, I always want to call him Pablo because that should be his name. I think a better name would be Pablo Pascal. That's his brother, right? That's his brother's name.
It's brother, yeah, that's his father, Pablo.
It's his father.
This is
Pedro Pascal.
My papa, Pablo.
Pablo, Pedro.
I am Pedro.
All right, number 5.
Number 5.
Video game that would be better than Borderlands the movie.
All right.
This is pretty easy. This is kind of a gimme.
I'll react. Okay.
What? There we go. Red Dead Redemption.
Okay.
Red Dead Redemption. So this is a poster for Red Dead Redemption 2, but nonetheless, the Red Dead Redemption
1 would work.
The Red Dead Revolver, even like the entire storyline is very good. Obviously, very well written. Rockstar and Take-Two did a very good job. It's very unfortunate that they kind of thrown most of this franchise to the wayside. Just to make, to be like, we're going to focus mainly on our big breadwinner, which is GTA. It's like this could very well be your breadwinner, but you just decided you were too lazy. But that's fine.
I absolutely positively loved Red Dead Redemption, the first one. 2, I wasn't the biggest fan of. I don't know, something about it. I guess I think that my biggest thing with these games is like, let me make my own character, you bastards. I don't want to play your character. So, I'm like, but the first one, that game was really, really, for me, was like the first game that a Western actually worked and was fun to play. So I think it'd be a great movie.
VONSTER, are you a Red Dead Redemptioner at all?
I played a little bit, but I did not play through and become obsessed and become part of like the great fandom around this. I was really excited for it, and I played it a little bit, and it didn't like hook me. I was in college at the time, and I don't know, probably just being an idiot doing other things. But I know for a fact what a script from Rockstar looks like, and it is a ample, beautiful, giant, like going to make an experience for people that feels like, I don't know, it's well earned its fandom. I think for a game like this to do as well as it did is awesome, and they did it with compelling story. So with the right script, this would be a killer movie.
Yeah,
people could really make it good.
100%.
Let's be honest, though. The best Rockstar video game that's ever been made by Rockstar is L.A. Noire. I don't care. Fight me.
What? It's Bully. Come on. It's Bully.
All right. Number 4. Are you guys ready?
Number 4. Coming in at number 4.
Contra! Come on!
Come on, that's not fair, man. That's the game. This is the movie I've wanted since I was a little kid in the 80s, okay?
Dude,
with AI, we can have Schwarzenegger and Stallone, both as these characters kill. Oh, sorry, I'm going off. I should
please go off, because this movie should have been made 20 years ago with Stallone and Schwarzenegger, and it was
30
years ago.
I mean,
look at it. It's literally Stallone right here, and Schwarzenegger, and then the alien from Aliens.
Like,
you can't go wrong.
It is 80s goodness, and at the Salty and Savage Show, we are always trying to make America 80s again. Buy the t-shirt. Buy the t-shirt. It is for sale. The link will be up in the chat. Buy the t-shirt. But yes, Contra, hands down, our number 4. Do you disagree? If you do, please tell me.
Number 4 is
lifted everything cool at the moment and put it together, like the 2 biggest action stars at the moment. Bam. Coolest aliens. H.R. Giger, man.
Yep.
Lift. Put it together.
What I thought would be interesting is that because of the nature of the video game, where it's almost like you have to you defeat a big boss at the end of every level, and it would almost be humorous if this was almost like a space buddy cop movie or whatever, and they got to go around and like fix all this. They got to defeat all these different things. So the first one is like, it's totally a mock of like Alien or something, but then they beat it, and then all of a sudden you're like, whoa, wait, they just they just beat it, and then they're like, yeah, okay, and then they move on. But it's all these different levels of escalating aliens and what, yeah, and they don't even need to do the literal level 2, but kind of just the whole nuance of it. Even you could just be like, okay, what are we going to do now? We're going to steal a monster from this movie, and then they're kind of, and I mean, you could almost
play up the 80s like over the topness of it and
Yep.
have a lot of fun with it. Like
make
not
like
take
a
itself too
super
seriously.
spoof almost, but like
Yeah.
with real good action. I mean, 21 Jump Street did kind of this nice blend of like making a good movie while making almost like a straight satire. Like it was absurd at sometimes.
Yeah.
Voshnik is like, reminds us the only way you could ever play this game or beat it was up, up, down, down, left, right, BA select start, which gave you 30 lives, which was enough. And trust me, sometimes you would have to use all 30 of those lives until you got good, until you got good, until you got good. Or 50 lives.
50 lives. All right, so that was number 4.
That is our number 4. Number 3. Ooh, number 3's good.
Number 3. I think a lot of people are really going to be on board with this.
If they're not, well, I don't care. BioShock.
Number 3.
Yes. Come on, Vaughn. What?
I was a fan of BioShock, and I played the hell out of it, and I loved everything about it and the world and the storytelling. And to me, it was like one of the best, like, you know, gaming moments I've had, probably. It was made to, these guys make stuff to also be movies. I can tell, like they set it up so well, but at the same time, they were trying to do something new and interesting with gaming at the same time. And so I think that's made games like this kind of like a favorite of people and timeless. And you could do like imagine an HBO level television series of BioShock.
Yes.
There you go. There you go. An HBO level. Very important distinction there.
Class
Absolutely.
it up.
Yeah.
Amoeba, what up?
Sorry, real quick. Niobe Comics, dude. What up, Niobe? Another great comic creator. You know what, dude? I don't know if we have the link, if the Baron has the link or Katie did has the link, but we should link your comic as well. Another good comic. Very interesting. You guys need to check it out, especially if you're a fan of the J. Scott Campbell Hot Chicks in Comic Books. He's the guy to check out. Amoeba says what she's like, yeah. That needs to be a movie like years ago. Seriously. I mean, I love Vaughn. What I loved about it was, so I'm a bit of a, like conservative libertarian. I love libertarian policies, not necessarily the Libertarian Party. Ayn Rand was, an author that I read when I was younger, and I was trying to figure out where I stood politically, and people were like, "Oh, check out this Ayn Rand book." Ironically enough, was handed to it by a creative director at Disney. That was weird. I think they got fired. But so this is based off of Ayn Rand novels, essentially, and Atlas is a character that's like basically lifted out of Ayn Rand novels, but it's a dystopian version of it, which I thought was really cool and interesting because it never got political, but it just kind of like, I don't know, I guess what it was how bad it could get. And that's how bad it could get with humans involved, right? I mean, that's what ends up happening. We always screw things up.
We are the most amazing, productive, wonderful, and horrific species
and
horrific. We are everything in one, man. And to explore our dark side is part of the fun because nobody gets hurt in fiction. And BioShock did that very well and made a lot of interesting points and made us think along the way while taking us on this like dark, bizarre undersea kind of H.G. Wells or kind of more Jules Verne
or Wells.
Mixed with
it blends a lot of stuff.
The Art Deco gives it this unique kind of, in a world of just like all the same generic games, you know what I mean? This like brought some style. It's a real cool game.
So for me, I'm always a guy that never liked games on rails. I didn't like the Uncharted series. I'm not I guess the only games I like on rails was like Mass Effect. I definitely enjoyed, but I've never liked games on rails or like games with like a focal story that kind of like you don't necessarily have a lot of freedom. I'm an RPG guy. I like role-playing games and mainly Western RPGs, not necessarily JRPGs. Right. But this game got me sucked in because of that world, that H.G. Wells, Jules Verne, Ayn Rand. Like, it was like they took like all these really cool like pieces of fiction and were like, this could work as one thing, and put it in a blender, and then gave us this. And it's a fantastical, wonderful, spooky, scary world that isn't as scary as Resident Evil or Dead Space, but more intriguing.
More thought-provoking. And really styling. I mean, the music and the woodwork and the
music.
deco.
The music really seals the deal. So it would, like, you could basically pull from the soundtrack of this actual game for the film. Like, you wouldn't have to change that at all, because the haunting like distant nature of like a 20s song played on like a phonograph from like across the room in an underwater facility. You're like so creepy, man. It's so there's nothing like it.
So good, dude. So good. Voshnik keeps mentioning, he keeps bringing up movies that are games that have already become movies. Final Fantasy was a movie. I saw it. It was an animated movie. I saw it in theaters at the AMC 16 downtown Burbank when I was in high school.
It's about the spirits, that one. Spirity.
So we can't count those because they're already movies. All right, moving on.
That was number 3.
That was number 3.
I like it.
Moving on to
an
number
example of taking a lot of cool things and knowing how to combine them in a way that's super cool. It's finding the right combinations and creativity. I just want to give people advice on that. Like, the right combinations are gold. Like, it's like alchemy. You're trying to find the right chemical equation of entertainment, but like telling your story properly, horrifying people, mystifying them, making them think, blowing their minds, everything, and bringing style to it with the Art Deco. All that stuff they did made for a tasty morsel, and like that's how I create, kind of. Balancing act, So.
No worries, Voshnik. No one remembers the Final Fantasy movie. Nobody remembers it, man.
I don't even
and
remember
no
the
one
title.
should.
Spirits.
No one should. All right, moving on to number 2.
It's true.
Zelda.
The
This
Legend
is
of Zelda
okay.
series.
That's something they've kind of hinted around, right? That's
They
kind
keep
of,
teasing
coming because of Mario Brothers doing so well. Yeah,
But I
This
think this would be a
think.
good live action, Vaughn. I think this would be a
do?
great live action. Yeah.
Oh man, Whew. Dicey, man, dicey.
You could
This
do
world
it.
is so beautifully rendered in cartoonish form all the time. The first time I opened up the Zelda instruction booklet, the anime art in there, like, blew my mind as a kid.
right?
Like, it made me want to draw. It made me really want to draw that stuff.
I think the only people that this would be, because when we say like the success of like the Mario movie, we all know, like, sure, it made money, but it was not great, and it was not our
Great.
Mario Brothers movie.
Nope.
I
It
agree
was
with
not.
you. I just
But
have to agree.
I think this Legend of Zelda, and if is it possible? I don't know. If Studio Ghibli did Legend of Zelda, I think we're talking like a super. You're talking the music, the emotion, the ethereal nature, the whimsicalness, the I think that would probably be an incredible, even like a 3 movie series by Studio Ghibli, like a Legend of Zelda tale or something, would be super cool.
Yeah, I think that a live action would be so amazing, though. You could really do it. The live action basically would be what The Hobbit should have been if Peter Jackson didn't partner up with what's his name from the original this Hellboy 2, Guillermo del Toro. Because we need a fantasy, whimsical, fun live action movie. And that hasn't happened in a really long time, but it is totally doable.
Like Legend.
I think it's doable. And I like Vaughn, you said like the instruction booklet from the original Zelda got you wanting to draw. I was obsessed with this game, the first one. 2 Adventures of Link wasn't as good of a game and didn't have as actually much art around it. But the first one, man, I was drawing all those characters obsessively in school to the point where I was memorizing it and I could just draw it, you know, without even looking.
Would you draw in 8-bit? Is that
no, because when you had the instruction booklet, there was actually these
Right.
great illustrations.
It was actually
and
really
they were
nice
beautiful.
illustration. Yeah.
Yeah,
The-
it was awesome.
Oh, it
I
was
mean,
beautiful. It was the anime that you always wanted them to make that they never made. And
Yeah,
so
yeah, exactly.
which I carry in my heart to this day. So I would like to see this as an anime.
And do you remember the Mario show that was on after school?
Oh,
I'd come home and watch the Mario. And
God.
Fridays it was the Legend of Zelda, and it was so
Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yeah.
That one?
Hey, Luigi.
But on Fridays, you had 4 days it would be the Mario show, and then on Fridays they would do the special Legend of Zelda animation, and that was Friday was the day, man. It was
Completely
that was the
forgot
day.
about that. I just remembered as you said it. I was like, oh
Yeah.
my god, they did do that.
Yeah,
They
dude,
did.
seriously.
That was great.
No one
They
takes
had
that
great
seriously.
writing back then. They actually did stuff kind of appropriately, I guess. Is that
They
that
had
weird
better
to say?
standards back then.
That they
Writers gave
did it
them.
appropriately? Sure.
Well, I think the
Yeah.
focus was on fun and kids and not grooming kids and not putting a political message out there. It was I honestly, you look at the old shows and it was like, what's going to make a kid laugh? What's going to be a wholesome lesson for them to learn?
Dude,
And
the
what's
le-
going to
the-
be fun?
The moral of the story, every time that was every cartoon from the 80s, there was always just like a standard, just it didn't matter who you were. This is a great guide for life, a great moral to the story. Doesn't like it covers everybody's life, it covers every situation. Like that was the whole gist. And yeah, now it does seem so targeted. And it's like,
It's
oh hey,
not
by
for
the
you.
way. Yeah.
Right? Like now it's got an attitude. Like now it's like, your time's up. Get out. Like it's nastier. There's something about it now where like if you were trying to make this Legend of Zelda live action here in America, I'd be sweating. Because fantasy is currently dominated by female writing teams that love making Link make out with other guys. Like their fan fiction is how they write, you know, and they taint a lot of fantasy with that. Right?
Well, it's the wrong kind of females too, because the right kind of females are too busy making their husband sandwiches, and the wrong kind of females are trying to figure out how to feed their cats without getting super annoyed and, you know, losing their temper.
Well, they're in our writing rooms, changing our culture out from under us and saying this isn't for you. So it's like when we watch the old stuff, there's this like good feeling, and it's not nostalgia. It's more like, oh, stuff was actually crafted back then to entertain us rather than lecture us. I don't know. It was different craftsmanship values.
It's like Andrew Clavin says, once women get into the art form is dead. I didn't say it. Andrew Clavin said it, okay? I'm sorry.
He repeated it out loud though. I mean, I don't know.
Well, I don't necessarily. So here's the thing, is that you never want women leading the writer's room. You want them in the writer's room for perspective and insight. But, you know, unless they are yeah, I don't know. I'm sexist, though. I'm a chauvinist and sexist, and I don't care. Okay?
It's good to not care. I work with some great talented artists, female artists, and I love them and I treat them exactly like everybody, and with the same respect, because I think we should artists need some love and some respect, man. They're barely clinging on a thread, a lot of them, and like you could, and anyway. But so I try to keep good relationships with them.
Great question, low watermark. What if the art form is making the sandwiches?
Dude, that's the
then
greatest.
that is like, let the ladies lead the way.
Well, that's
the greatest art form of all.
It is the
that's
greatest.
I agree,
Sandwich
because like it goes
architecture.
back to women are good witches or bad witches.
Yeah.
They either use their magic to make the most amazing sandwiches, and you don't know how they do it, but it somehow tastes better when they make it, even if you try to make the same
It's
thing.
always
And then they go into writers' rooms and make everything gay. Like, which witch are you?
Well, it's always funny when you see all those videos of the women on the TikTok and they're crying about like they can't get a guy and like this guy, it was a situationship. It's like, just make the man a sandwich and see what happens.
So
I mean, Yeah.
So coming in, coming in at number
won't do it.
2
Coming in at
on the
2.
countdown was Legend of Zelda.
And that brings us back to Zelda.
All right, and our number one,
And
our
by the way,
number one.
Zelda was the woman's name, by the way.
Yes, it was the princess.
It was the
Her name was Princess Zelda. The hero that saves Zelda is named Link, and the bad guy's name is Ganon. Learn your
That's right.
Zelda.
That's right. You learned something tonight.
All right.
All right. So,
Coming in
number
hot.
one. Are you guys ready for number one?
The moon is angry. I'm ready, man. Hit
Who
me.
is angry?
Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
I mean, we love Star Wars here. It goes
Vaughn's
without
reaction
saying.
is classic.
It was pretty great.
Because he's like, Disney will fuck it up.
Yeah. Kathleen Kennedy's just
You're not
holding a
wrong.
glass of Chardonnay.
You're not
and
wrong.
Like a strap on in the other hand. And it's just, let's do this. All right. Here we
I'm
go.
sorry.
Don't pay me enough.
Uncap says, no, yes, dude. Have you not played these games? They are the best Star Wars video games of all time. And it is untapped fiction. The books are great. The comic books are great. Wait, the books are great. The comic.
Go on.
Question. Was this part of the lore that Kathleen Kennedy threw out
Yes.
officially?
Yes. It
Yeah,
is.
Well, didn't they make the video games? They made the EU books a non-lore, but didn't they lump in the video games? But
not
they're
Knights
just
of the Old Republic. They have actually so
can
far.
call
I
it,
think
like,
officially,
Legend.
Old Republic is not
it's like
official
legend
canon.
status or something like that.
Okay.
There's some weird, but nonetheless, this is I've seen. I have not personally played done like a playthrough of this game, but there are master cuts of the cinematics that are cut together with additional footage that is so good. It is just like this story would be absolutely incredible as an appropriately done Star Wars movie.
Everyone loves it. They rave about it.
Is Uncapped dogging on us again?
Yeah, he's always like, you're number one. He's all, you're
Always
number one.
wrong.
They're always wrong. Oh wait, sorry.
Think about this.
It's so funny.
AI is getting better. Fans for this still exist. They're hardcore about this. They're gonna make an AI Knights of the Old Republic. Just watch and release it.
Oh, you know it.
Like it's gonna be.
It would probably be better than
Hollywood
anything
won't
Disney
do it.
does.
It will be.
Yeah.
It will be.
Julio Scissor says it right, man. Star Wars: The Old Republic is a great Star Wars single player game, a decent MMO. I wish they would have just made that a single player game too, not an MMO, because it fell short. But it's good stuff, man. It's good stuff.
All right.
All right, so that's our top 5, but it's not over. We've got a bonus. We've got a bonus one. Now, this one didn't quite make the top 5, but it should be an honorable mention, and the pitch on this is amazing. It is a very good pitch, and I was very convinced.
He may have oversold it a bit, but when we just came up with the concept of the top 5 video games that would be better movies than Borderlands, I went back to the NES. I went back to the old days, and I'm like, let me think of like the one of the most rudimentary, and I'm not talking like Snakes or anything like that, but like a simple, just like a great NES game that maybe not everybody had, but it may have been in like the back of your thing. And you didn't necessarily play it. And the first thing I thought of was Base Wars. And if you're an NES fan and you know Base Wars, so it's basically that all the baseball players are cyborgs of some sort. They either have tank legs, they float above the air, they have a wheel for a leg, or they have regular legs. There's advantages to all of these different things. Some guys have more power, some guys don't. But the best part about this game is that the fundamental part of baseball is that, if you don't make it to first before the ball gets there, you're out. Well, in this game, if the ball gets there before you do, you can be like, you know what? I'm going to fight the first baseman over whether or not I'm out. And then if you win, you're like, I'm not out, and you're safe on first base.
It's a baseball game and a fighting game and an RPG a bit, or like
with robots.
It's
with
like
robots. It's
So-
like Front Mission 3 meets SNK's Baseball Stars meets Street Fighter 2 all in one video game.
It's
Amazing.
absolutely crazy, and I loved. This was one of these things that it just popped into my head because I played this game so much that I absolutely mastered it and got to the point where I could just go around with every single hit. It didn't matter if I hit a home run or just hit a. I could get all the way around the bases just by continuing to beat up the other players,
Destroy the whole team.
So I'm thinking like, okay, so the movie it's the not too distant future. Athletes are now basically almost obsolete because we've got robots that can perform and do these things that like humans can't even. And so you kind of get this blend of like a real Steel. And I'm thinking like you don't make it too shticky, but you make it like a fun action kind of comedy where you get like a little Real Steel, a little Bad News Bears, and a little bit of Major League. And you have like this ragtag team who has, these junky old robots, and they're trying to beat, the big guys who got the big crazy robots. And it's slowly, slowly like they find that they're, one of the robots has like some old programming I don't know exactly what the fine crux would be on it, but I feel like a Major League-ish come from behind robots and the best part will be like the first time when it's like, oh, you're out, and the guy's all boom, and he punches the other robot's head off, and he's like, you're safe. Never mind.
Yeah, the ref's
like it's just go. Yeah, all right.
He sells it right, Vaughn. I mean, this is I'm already convinced this is a better movie than Borderlands.
And
like already.
And it's not. And
no Kevin Hart mentioned so far. This is good.
No Kevin Hart. Yeah, we were trying to think of who'd be like a great, like he'd be the coach, because the coach is like the only human. He's the guy who like coaches the robots.
I love those damn robots.
So yeah. Oh man. Yeah. Who is it? We're gonna get Wilford Brimley back. He's gonna be like, he's so good. He just stops coughing. He's like, I got diabetes. No.
See, this is what I said, Voshnik. Wait, Hugh Jackman did that movie. Exactly.
He did. And he bonded with his son. So far, all we have is a coach just looking at robots going, yep.
No, yeah, I feel like it's good, but it's like a Major League where like you all of a sudden you feel for the robots and they're trying to come from behind and I don't know. It maybe not the best
robots too.
But I feel like it's still better than Borderlands.
Yes. And with that said,
that was the top 5.
That was the top 5. You're welcome.
It's pretty good. What do you think, Vonster?
I was impressed with your choices because I didn't see any of them coming. And you picked good ones. You picked ones that not just are like good games, a lot of them, but they have stories that people have been demanding for years. Some of these games, like it's the audience wants something cool and original and new like that, and just something like Contra, which is just pure 80s fun. Like I think we miss that. And I think there's a reason they've drawn a lot from it for certain movies these days. So yeah, man, well done. I'd put it in my top 5.
I think our top 5.
Our top 5.
It's your top 5 of top 5.
Top 5.
Uncapped Turtle is very disappointed in me, and I have to share why he's disappointed in me. He shared this image.
Rabble. He's always sharing something.
And it's like, I didn't get it because also, like, first off, I don't think that this should make our list. And if it was going to be something similar to this game, it wouldn't be this game. So this is apparently Pac-Man, and I'm like, I thought it might be Pac-Man, but I was like, what the hell is this?
Oh, that is Pac-Man.
But it's as a spaceman getting haunted by the ghost.
I guess it's okay. So Miss Pac-Man would be better. Miss Pac-Man's the better video game. Number 1, like that's the better video game. Sorry, anyone that ever went to a Shakey's or a Marie Callender's knows that Miss Pac-Man is a superior game. However, I think that technically it gets ruled out because it's already been in a movie or 2. So, I
mean, I don't know. You couldn't I don't know how you could do a whole movie. I see this is an interesting concept right here set in front of us, but I don't know how you could do this as a whole movie.
Yeah, I don't either.
Pill-addicted spaceman Yeah, because that's you got to have
Isn't
that.
that, like,
Haunted
so-
by his old crew after
Yeah,
he pulled a
right?
move, killing them. They're space miners, right?
And they do that in like
And,
Solaris or something. I
Like
mean,
what?
I don't know. It feels
Oh,
like
real quick, we got a
something.
friend of the show in the
Something.
chat, Eric Weathers. What up, brother? Eric Weathers has got an amazing comic book out. We talked about it, I believe, last week or the week before. Dude, you got Battle Brick Road. You guys need to check it out. We'll put a link in the chat. Battle Brick Road is an amazing book. I can't wait to get it.
It's going to be even better the second book, I can tell.
Oh yeah, dude. I'm really looking forward to it. Eric Weathers is going to be Eric Weathers has a Silence Dogood cover coming out for Silence Dogood for the full graphic novel, and his cover, guys, I don't want to show it yet, but it is going to be awesome. And then also I will be working with Eric Weathers, hopefully, fingers crossed, on another comic book that I'll be working on starting in the fall. So yeah, he won't be starting in the fall. I'll be starting in the fall. He comes in much later, but Eric
feel
Weathers is
like-
awesome.
Right.
I feel like we're at the appropriate time for our first break because
Oh.
we're talking about comics like
Yeah.
Silence Dogood, and it's probably a good time to watch a minute and 12-second trailer
Ooh.
for Silence Dogood. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think?
I
Lay
think
it
no.
on us.
I want to play that later.
Uh-oh.
I want to play our music video that's going to drive Amoeba crazy. Don't care.
no. Oh my gosh, Amoeba's gonna hate it. No way. All right, so we're gonna do our break for the first hour. And why do you want to make Amoeba hate us? It is a great music video, though. I do love it. Although Amoeba's seen it every single time we've played it. And
I never care, Amoeba. I love you, but I don't
Not
care.
involved.
he isn't. All right, so we're gonna take a super quick break. Back in 2 and 2, everybody here on the Salty and Savage Show.
Unbelievably, the most watched, most wondered about man in America has gone missing tonight.
The intersection of the 5 and the 91 freeway. One thing we have been noticing, again, it's a very slow pursuit, followed by numerous highway patrol vehicles. But because of the intensity, it seems like people have heard about what's going on, and all the overpasses that we've seen have been lined with cars.
Guilty shadows haunt the night. Dark secrets locked away so tight. OJ on the run. Oh, what a sight. High speed chase, sirens blaring in the moonlight. Fame and glory now turned to shame. The taste of freedom lost in this twisted game. OJ. The man with the bloodstained face, innocent or guilty, who's to blame? Running from the truth, chasing dreams in the night. Oh, OJ, you can't from a faithful life. Guilty shadows follow you, day and night. In the darkness, justice finds its light.
One of our LA affiliates. Police believe that O.J. Simpson is in that car. Okay. Police believe he is in that vehicle.
911, what are you reporting? This is AC. I have O.J. in the car.
Fame and glory now turned to shame. A taste of freedom lost in this twisted game. O.J., the man with the bloodstained fame. Innocent or guilty, who's to blame? Running from the truth, chasing dreams in the night. Oh, Jay, you tried from that faithful light. Guilty shadows follow you, day and night. In the darkness, justice finds its light.
To be fair, we use a different intro every week, young man. We use a different intro every week.
Yes.
We tell people to put it in the comments, or well, I think that I tell people to put it in the comments, and then I don't remember to do that. But
Look, One of these days, I'll have the time once Silence Do Good is done to make another music video. But until then, we're just going to get to OJ because it's a great song. I don't care. Interesting comment that I want to address. James Hurley says they are making a Ma Cain Lynch movie with Christian Bale and Thomas Jane. That sounds interesting.
That could be insane.
I thought that was interesting because
Batman and the
hold up. So me and my wife have been watching Troppo, which is a really good mystery show with Thomas Jane that takes place in Australia. And that's what got me looking at like, yeah, oh. So yeah, Batman and Punisher in a movie.
What?
One of the Punishers, Vonsters. What's your take on Thomas
Cain
Jane
and Lynch
as a Punisher?
I think Thomas Jane was a fine Punisher and not the best movie.
Yes,
it's like wasted potential down to like his looks, his acting, the violence that he could emit with a glare. The intensity of his acting was perfect for Frank, and he had the like. I grew up with like Jim Lee Punisher with the sweet bangs that did its thing. So like I even liked the Dolph Lundgren Punisher, guys, and he had like just bad makeup on and everything, and it was like some tacky movie, but I still love it. I don't care. And so, but I liked Thomas Jane, and yet I was like, what is this movie? Like, what a waste.
Thomas Jane was great as the Punisher. It was a terrible movie. I don't think that there actually has been a very good Punisher movie. There's been a good Punisher movie, but there hasn't been a very good Punisher movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I did really enjoy the John Bernthal first Punisher series. It was very good. I thought it was I thought it stood alone as just you could like zero intro that this was even a Marvel thing or whatever. You could have just watched that and been like, holy shit, that was amazing. That guy was fucking badass. What was that all about? And you're like,
right.
yeah, you're interested now, aren't you?
Now you think it's cool.
I thought
My
some of the
parents
action scenes
suddenly are Punisher fans because of that show, guys. Like,
John Bernthal, I think he sold the character of the Punisher. I think the last two episodes of the first season got a tad ridiculous. The action was a bit. I mean, I know it's a comic book, but it was trying to like it had 1 foot in comic book and 1 foot in realism, and I was like, pick a something, pick a side.
That and Daredevil, both kind of did the same thing, where all of a sudden something would be so unrealistic. You're like, whoa, wait a minute. Everything a second ago, gravity worked just fine, and now gravity doesn't work fine. What's going on here?
Amoeba Artstorm, who I adore, she illustrated the back cover for Silence Do Good, says, I love the first Fantastic Four, and this is why you never, ever get to criticize our O.J. Simpson music video ever again. Okay?
Oh,
Amoeba.
Great movie. Great.
No, we love Amoeba here. She's awesome. We will tease you though. We will tease you as you tease us.
He's the worst, Chris, as Deadpool said. Come on.
Chris Evans as Human Torch. He was great. And then when he became Captain America, I was like, son of a.
He's so much better as Captain America. You're like, fuck.
Yeah. I can't see him as not Cap now.
Yeah.
That was the best. One of the good jokes in Deadpool, right?
That might have been my favorite thing about Deadpool. Was like, so we're doing spoilers now. So Deadpool, he shows up, and you're like, oh, it's Cap, and I'm already like going, I know it's not. And it's like he had the Brooklyn accent. I mean, he had the accent, I think it's like a Brooklyn accent or whatever. It's like Human Torch accent.
Like an over the top. I think it was like a Boston accent.
Yeah, it was a Boston accent or whatever. He's like, yo, this bitch. Oh my gosh.
Money.
Yeah, Amoeba screamed. I was giggling because I wasn't trying to ruin it for my wife who was sitting next to me because she thought it was Captain America. And I'm like, it's the Human Torch. It's the Human Torch.
Avengers, flame on.
That whole movie. Oh, okay. Let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about it.
Just get into it. Why not?
We're already there. So Vaughn, Savage finally saw it. You've seen it. I've seen it. What are our thoughts on Deadpool? That's been out for 3 weeks now? Sorry. A day late, a dollar short. It's a Salty and Savage show. We're still talking about Deadpool.
Like, if it had been a cameo fest like other Marvel movies, we wouldn't have liked it so much. But instead, it leaned into it and knew that it was like ridiculous with cameos. So it just went like full throttle. Like, fuck you. We're gonna do more cameos than you can even handle. And it made us remember all the like great actors and characters that have done other cool movies and stuff over the years.
And introduce
like
new
farewell.
characters.
Right. It was like a farewell to Fox doing Marvel movies in a lot of ways, in a kind of a nice way, in kind of a fun way. And it gave me the Wolverine I've been wanting to see since I was like a little kid on the screen. And I didn't expect that at all. I went in not knowing, about the cowl and everything, when we were going to see it or if we saw it at all.
So
we didn't know here. We showed a video that a fan did because no one thought that you were going to get the cowl, and some fan like actually did a lot of the scenes where it was Hugh Jackman without the cowl, and they like did digitize the cowl on him, and it was really exciting to see. But then when you got to see it in the film, I was like,
yeah, man. It made you. It was weird feeling because I was going, see, that cow works, man. That fucking works.
It totally worked.
And like Hollywood, you were just scared of it. You're scared all these years. But in a weird way, like it was such a gratifying payoff to not have it and then to have him finally put it on because it worked with the plot of the movie.
It did.
When it came on, it wasn't just for coolness sake. He was becoming, his character arc was he becomes a full X-Men. No bullshit anymore. No more running. It was perfect. So it was an impactful moment more than that. The audience starts cheering, you're like getting pumped. He looks great. His voice somehow seems to change into Wolverine's voice right after he puts it on. It's crazy. I just loved it.
So Uncat reminds me of something that we need to do. We've talked about it on the Salty and Savage show, but he says, I wish we had more than 6 seconds of brown and gold. You know what, brother? Me too. Right. I think we should actually do the top 5 best Wolverine costumes of all time because brown and gold might be my favorite.
It's pretty good.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's what I started on.
Them making and them poking so much fun. I mean, so many comments throughout the film about what he was wearing. Just to reiterate, like, hey, remember, this is what Wolverine wears. Everyone, like, remember this outfit? Hey, this outfit. Hey, look at his outfit. It's ridiculous, right? That's what superheroes used to wear. Remember that?
Yeah.
It was pretty great.
So for me, I said it a couple weeks ago, but Vaughn, I don't know how you feel about this, but to me, it felt a bit of a "I'm sorry, I love you, I miss you" letter to the fans. The movie, like it was just this like it poked fun at itself. It was making fun of the direction that the MCU has gone, and I really felt like it was Ryan Reynolds being like, "We can still do this. We can still make good comic book movies," and I got that sense, even though it was like. Probably one of the weaker plots.
Yeah,
it
didn't matter.
So much
it was a little
fun.
soft. Yeah,
that wasn't what was important somehow. You know what I mean? It was like it was more about like reminding us what we love about him, and not taking itself too seriously, and giving Wolverine. It's in a way, it was kind of giving Wolverine the best send off. Because the send-off with Logan, I know everyone was like, oh, that is high art. And I was like, you killed him. Like, you pretentious bastards. Like, you killed my Wolverine. Like, no way. With a tree stump or something? Fuck you. Like, so for this coming in and being like, you are the best Wolverine ever, dude. I was just like, because in a way, Hugh Jackman deserves it too after like 24 years of service. He's doing nothing but making me love Wolverine on the screen. He did a great job. He put his all into it.
You mean the greatest showman?
The greatest.
Les Miserables. The greatest showman.
The man with the most prestige.
Ooh, I like that.
Aha, aha.
I'm sitting here thinking of other Hugh Jackman movies, and I'm just like,
I'm sorry. The best Hugh Jackman movie outside of the Wolverine stuff is The Prestige. Don't care what anyone says.
no, bro, swordfish, bro. I'm just kidding, guys. I don't care that it has Halle Berry's tits in it. It's not that good of a movie.
Oh, it's a terrible movie.
Swordfish does have an amazing soundtrack done by Paul Oakenfold, though, if you're into that kind of thing.
The techno stuff.
The tap dancing Aussie.
Tap dancing Aussie.
Just wants to
We're gonna make him do this till he's 90. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he keeps buffing up enough. He looks
right?
like the part, so he pulls it off. It's amazing imagining who else would even be Wolverine.
Well, one of our top picks was Wolverine in the film.
Cavill.
Henry Cavill. Yeah. I mean, it just and it was the same thing that we said. He turned around and was like, oh, this just feels right somehow. I don't know why. Like, this feels wrong, but so right.
Another example of Ryan Reynolds having his finger on the pulse of a lot of fans.
Just getting it.
Yeah. And kind of speaking for us in a weird way, roundabout fun way. It's really different kind of movie. You didn't walk out going, that plot was, no, instead it's like all these other great things from like the acting, from the staying true to these characters, the fun cameos, the comedy, not taking itself too seriously, the emphasis on Wolverine overcoming his darkness instead of, just always succumbing to it. It's just, I don't know. It was the fact that I thought whenever they were first announcing it, it was just going to be Deadpool 3 and they were just trying to bait us with Wolverine. And of course, once the trailers came out, I was like, no, this is called Deadpool and Wolverine. Like, this is a Wolverine story, guys. So I didn't know how deep they'd go with it, but they made me love it. I fell in love with it. Giving Logan a happy ending, I think, I needed it. I needed it.
We all needed it. Dr. Till says short Vereen was a missed opportunity to use Danny DeVito. I think it was a missed opportunity to do AI Bob Hoskins.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Because I think that would have been great if they did like a computer generated, like at the family's permission, do a computer generated AI Bob Hoskins, like little guy, like all hairy and like, what? Ugh.
Mel Gibson auditioned back in the day too.
Did he really?
He was supposed to be Wolverine.
Oh my god!
It was.
Finally, the Australian shows up. What up, Andrew Campbell?
We've been talking about one of your saviors, Hugh Jackman. This whole time. But I feel we also hit on when we were talking about the possibilities for a new Wolverine. We did, and I would love to bounce this off you and see what you feel. We decided it would be really interesting if Liam Hemsworth, who is a very tall and handsome and bearded young man, took over as the Wolverine, because then you could have him fighting versus Thor, his brother, Chris Hemsworth, and it could be so tongue-in-cheek, just like the Deadpool movies are, because there is an actual comic where Thor and
Wolverine versus Thor. It wasn't a very good series, but I think, but box office, as far as like if you're gonna do RDJ as Dr. Doom, you might as well go full cheese and be like, yeah, Liam Hemsworth is going to be Wolverine. We're going to do Wolverine versus Thor, and it's going to be Liam versus Chris. Hemsworth go at it and call it a day.
You know what I liked about Hugh Jackman when you first saw him as Wolverine? You didn't know who the hell he was back then.
Right. Yeah.
I think that helped him become Wolverine for us.
Yeah.
If he was just like, I don't know, Zac Efron, like we'd just be like, that's Zac Efron in a silly Wolverine wig. But the other guys you said aren't bad. They're physically fit. Liam Hemsworth isn't too well known. Like but he's done some stuff.
Yeah.
But like the thought of a kind of an unknown stepping in and just like embodying the role, I think could be cool too.
Yeah. I think I like the idea. I think that's the thing that made the characters it's not, well, for me, like a lot of the Marvel characters, other than, you know, Robert Downey Jr. coming into these roles, it wasn't like they were like Oscar winning and like had these like prolific careers. I mean, there's probably a couple that I'm forgetting, but most of them, they were just kind of like, oh, they did this movie, they did that movie. I mean, Chris Evans did like a failure of Fantastic Four. So they all kind of fit into those roles pretty easily. And then, you know, Robert Downey Jr. just being the guy that he is, I mean, being Tony Stark, that was just the obvious. Like, I don't even know how he wasn't the first choice, to be honest. Like,
I thought he was. Yeah, fans were demanding it before it happened.
Yeah, because they were thinking about a bunch of other actors. Actually, I think they had a short list, and they weren't even considering him just because of his, you know. Because at the time, I mean, he was just getting out of prison, you know, for all that.
I didn't know that.
So...
I didn't know. That's amazing. Great comeback story, though.
One of the greatest, yeah.
But yeah, that's cool to think about. I swear, man, watching, like, I love Deadpool, and I've been compared to Deadpool throughout my life by different people close to me. But Wolverine as a kid, like, always spoke to my, I don't know, my loner rage.
Yeah.
And to see his story be like, he's the loner, he's never, and that's what the brown and yellow suit represents to me. And that's why I grew up loving it, and it was my suit. And I scoffed when I saw the blue and yellow as a kid, because I was like, the brown suit is like Wolverine on his own. Where he likes to be, alone in the wilderness, doing his thing, going on his missions, doing whatever crazy adventures.
He's Wolverine Operation Desert Storm.
Exactly.
Man!
And then the blue and yellow represented like X-Men. Like, this is when he's hanging with the X-Men. So for them using it for the movie as the main suit, I was like, all right, this works for me. Because over the years, as I got older, I like the blue and yellow too. I
love the blue and yellow because one of my favorite all-time comic books, and I can't remember which number it is, but I have it actually in one of my long boxes, is Todd McFarlane's run on Spider-Man.
Yes.
Where Spider-Man and Wolverine team up to fight the Wendigo in Canada.
I was just looking at that book the other day.
It is one of my favorite, drawn so beautifully. I like growing up. Todd McFarlane, McFarlane was one of my favorite comic book artists, and his run on Spider-Man. I mean, I have every McFarlane Spider-Man that he ever drew because his version, the twisted, contorted bodies, the webbing, and then he draws Wolverine, and so I fell in love with the blue and yellow costume because that is where I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Actually looks really cool.
Because all the Wolverine comics I was getting in the 90s was the golden brown.
Yeah.
And to have the X-Men version, I was like, and then you get the cartoon later. The cartoon came in later, I think like 94, or maybe earlier, but it came after that comic book, because the comic book was like 90, 91. Man, that was one of my favorite comic books, man.
Yeah. I swear to God, I just looked at that the other day, and I was blown away by how he even handles the panels. Todd McFarlane knew how to make something look cool in a way that no other artist could. And it sticks with you, his choices in terms of paneling, in terms of how he presented Wolverine. And then, at first I saw the blue and yellow costume, and I'm like, oh, man. And then by the end of it, I'm like, this is pretty sweet. Like, he's still Wolverine. He looks cool. You know, it's kind of a return to you saw it as old school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But really, like, I look at it now as not old school. I look at, because like John Byrne had the blue and yellow, you know, and I love those books too. But I always like brown and yellow. But yeah, now it's like I associate it with, that's when he's chilling with the X-Men. That's a good important one too. It still looks awesome on him. He's still just as brutal and badass. He's just
it's one of the acceptable costumes. We've talked about it on the Salty and Savage show. There's tight black leather is not acceptable.
No,
blue and yellow is
leather. It better be loose.
No, there's just no.
Yeah,
no.
It's not Wolverine.
No, it's not. It's not. All right, so we've got we're gonna watch a movie trailer. As soon as Savage gets the dog out of the room, he's got really great dogs.
Sorry.
You Savage, you wanna let's watch the Daredevil trailer.
Oh, Daredevil. Sorry, I didn't have that one.
We got Henry Bennett, dude. Where have you been, bro? How are you, man? I think he might need to catch up. He's still at the top video, but that's okay. I'm watching from the beginning. Well, thank you for being here. You'll finally catch up eventually, and you'll get that message.
All right, Daredevil.
Yeah, let's watch this. Oh, Daredevil. So Daredevil,
how
are we feeling about this, Vaughn?
Is there a trailer?
I didn't know there was a trailer, so I'm kind of.
Oh, it's a trailer reveal. So
trailer reveal. Oh, okay. It's not a trailer. What are we doing here with this? So Born Again is that it? And what is? Let's read some of the articles. Should I put my glass? Oh, you'll read it because.
All right. So the head of the show's premiere next year, Marvel Studios has revealed the first trailer for the upcoming Disney Plus series Daredevil: Born Again. So it's right here. The new trailer shows Charlie Cox is once again reprising his role, or reprising, depending on where you live, his role as Matt Murdock / Daredevil. We also see Daredevil and Kingpin sharing a tense dinner. So is this, hold on, if I click on this, is this going to take me? I mean, I'm still not.
There's a trailer. I want to see the trailer.
We're still not. No, it's.
Give it a few hours. It'll leak.
It's still not. Yeah, it's still not on here. So we're going to have to dig deep or something. Bernthal returns as the Punisher.
So they're bringing back the Punisher and
so they have a dinner. Punisher throwing Daredevil into a locker like a school bully, an assortment of Daredevil masks, and our titular hero thrashing an almost worrying amount of bad guys. Marvel Studios first announced it was making a new Daredevil series in May of 2022. The studio wouldn't reveal the show's official title until SDCC in July 2022. Cox is who previously portrayed Daredevil in several Marvel projects, including the Netflix original series, which ran for 3 seasons on Netflix. Yeah, the Defenders. The Defenders.
So check the private chat, Savage. We got the link for the trailer. Let's just watch the trailer.
Go to copy this.
Yeah. So Daredevil is Vaughn. So for me, Daredevil is one. I liked Marvel much more than DC growing up, and Daredevil was definitely, as a kid growing up, even now, Daredevil is my top 5 comic book heroes. And I'm a little sad that the movie that they did come out with, over a decade now, I'm so glad it's not part of the MCU, was it was longer than that. It was like 15 years ago now. It was terrible. So bad. Was not happy about it, but I did like the series, even though I felt like it was weak at certain parts.
All right, so are you ready to rock and roll with this?
Oh, your sound got really weird.
Did it?
Yeah. You're very echoey.
Check. Check 1 2. You got me?
Yeah. Gotcha.
Here we go.
Devil is what they call me. I've learned that evil wears many masks.
Oh, pause it.
Each one more dangerous.
What?
So we're starting to hear that British accent again.
Is that doesn't even sound like that same actor?
Oh, he's very British.
Dangerous than the last. This time, the stakes are higher. Sometimes we forget that even our enemies have their reasons.
Listen closely, young one. There's danger in these streets.
Ooh, is that Punisher?
I want nothing but peace to my city.
Oh, pause it. Let's not go too far because we got the. You're good. I'm always worried. Vaughn, I'm always worried about getting copyright struck. Vincent D'Onofrio is so good as the Kingpin.
He's phenomenal. He's absolutely phenomenal.
And the guy that plays Murdoch, Daredevil. He's so-so.
I was so upset. I'm like, why do they keep casting British guys? What is the deal? Like, why?
I don't know. That should be a top 5 actors that could be a better Daredevil
than the British guy that they selected.
Nothing but peace to my city. This city is ground zero for a war it doesn't even know is happening. This war is bigger than anything. You and I haven't always agreed in the.
This feels like it's a very
Wait, is this fan made? What is going on? What am I?
Fan made thing.
This is fan made. I have been tricked by the internets again.
It's Trailer Expo. Yeah, I think it's a.
This is fan made.
Yes.
Whoever sent me this link, you are fired.
It's all right. It's all right.
We should do a top 5 though. Who could be? I'm going to blame Dr. Till. I'll blame everything on Dr. Till. But we should do a top 5 eventually on who would be the best Matt Murdock because Daredevil. Because I don't mind the guy. What was that movie that he was in with Robert De Niro and Michelle Pfeiffer? That what was that fantasy movie? It was actually a really funny movie.
Look, this guy was in?
Claire Danes. Claire Danes was in that, right? Oh, wait. Dr. Till has the actual trailer? Am I shitting on you, Dr. Till, when I shouldn't?
Is it in the
Dr. Till, DM me the trailer. Do we have the real trailer? That was a fake trailer. We got faked out at the Salty and Savage show. Well, who cares? That was a bad trailer. A little embarrassed. Someone DM me. Is there a real trailer or is there not a real trailer? I thought there was a real trailer. We read that article. It made it sound like there was a real trailer. Apparently, there's not a real trailer.
It's like just give it a few hours to leak type situation, maybe.
Yeah.
Andrew Campbell is drunk in Australia right now.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Actors equal gayer, the better. British.
The top
case.
I have terrible teeth. My wife is ghastly, and I'm possibly homosexual.
Well, in Australia, they say homosexual, or is it New Zealand? Homosexualist.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't remember the actor's name, but he was that movie. Everyone was in this movie. It was a fantasy movie, and I can't remember what it was called.
Like Stardust.
It was a fun movie, and he's not a bad Daredevil.
Yeah, he had to win me over. I was like, I don't know about this fucking limey, and then like over time, I was like, all right, Charlie Cox.
Oh, it's Charlie Cox. That's his name.
Yeah. You're Daredevil, buddy. You're Daredevil. My parents fell in love with Punisher and Daredevil because of the Netflix shows. They didn't know the characters at all. So they did something right, but the show Daredevil has its highs and lows. Overall, I thought it was the best produced, most interesting, and well done Marvel show.
It's no Iron Fist.
Yeah. Oh God. I couldn't get through like 3 eps of that. I think like the choreography was like they just like did it on the spot in front of the It was so weird and bad, and just a shame.
The fact that they did 2 seasons of that? 2 seasons of that?
Jeez, we got spoiled in ways we didn't ask to be spoiled.
I mean, Luke Cage was good. Crap. Luke Cage was good. I can't remember the actor's name. He actually used to live in my old neighborhood, and he was one of the nicest human beings on the face of the earth. Cool. We would see him in the park all the time, walking his dog with his daughter, and he was the nicest guy. And I loved Luke Cage, even though I thought it got a little weak when they did the villain swap in season 1. Still good. It was good. Jessica Jones was great. First season was great. I thought David Tennant was like, you're like, I want him to die. He was so good as a bad guy. And Daredevil was good, and just Iron Fist was like, oh my God, who did this?
What happened? They churned out too much content too fast.
No, that one was just, I don't know. It was written by retards.
Oh my dear Lord, was it?
The writing room.
Oh my gosh, guys! Speaking of some regarded individuals, I'm having a camera that's telling me it's about to die. So give me 1 second. I'm going to do a camera adjustment, and I'm going to be right back with you. So
okay. Well, that might be a good time to then. What you know? What we're going to do?
Wait a minute! Don't do anything without me. Oh my God! No, I'll be right back.
Gummy bears bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the gummy bears.
All right. Just real quick though. Let's watch this trailer and then buy my comic book after you buy Vaughn's comic book, Kutaru Witch Hunter. All right, so that's my trailer for Silence Do Good. Benjamin Franklin is a teenager, gets kidnapped by weird people from the future, stuck in a VR program, controlled by an artificial intelligence that thinks it's God. And a lot of madness ensues. It's a lot of social commentary on what is social media doing to us? Is it stealing our souls? Should we unplug from the internet? It's a really good story. I hope that you guys check it out. The link is in the chat. Issues 1 and 2 are out, and issues 3 I'm very close from finishing.
Nice.
And it's going to be really, really good. And a full story. The graphic novel will actually go to print, and it's going to be like 75 pages of stories. That'll actually go to print. At the end of September, actually. So it'll be ready for in October. So please check that out. So we have a really super bootleg version of the Daredevil trailer. Do you guys want to watch it?
Do we have it now? Awesome.
Super
has happened.
Super bootleg.
Booty leg. Just like
leg.
Like I think
anything to make up for the fake one, right?
I just had to change my my camera. I look pretty bootleg right now.
I apologize again because we got tricked by the internet and we thought that was the trailer because it's like, dude, you guys are talking about the trailer. Release the trailer.
Release.
Like Comic-Con's
don't
over. Why are
releasing.
you hiding it? Like, come on. All right, here we go.
All right,
so let's watch this.
For the trailer.
Wait, that's not the right trailer.
It's on mute.
Hold on. No. That's not the right trailer.
That looks like the old one.
Fakey.
Yeah. The fakey.
So much fake information.
I don't know how to
We are
internet.
definitely in a cyberpunk world of
I don't know how to internet.
So much fake information.
I don't know.
So much fake.
I don't know how to
around
internet.
us.
I don't know how to internet. Yeah, I don't know how to internet most of the time either.
There we go.
I try not to.
Oh, here we
All
go.
right.
This is definitely real.
People are going missing.
What?
It's in a theater and it's super ghetto.
Okay.
We're totally gonna get in trouble for this. I don't care.
It's more than just putting on a suit. It's a calling.
Don't cheer. Be silent and watch.
Yeah, just watch. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't think you understand. People need a hero.
All right. Daredevil is one of the coolest superheroes. I don't care what anyone says.
He is.
It's pretty fascinating. Yep. When it's not. When it's. Oh, hey. What about the?
We're so gonna get trouble.
We're gonna get in trouble.
We're gonna get in so much trouble.
Dude,
We might end up having to cut this out tomorrow just because we want to make sure the show gets seen by everybody tomorrow and Kutaru Witch Hunter gets purchased.
But what about the reference, the quick little reference that Deadpool makes to Elektra about Daredevil? He says something. It's like there was some quick reference when they're in Blade and Elektra's like hideout.
Oh,
Quick
no, the
reference,
reference
like-
was sorry it's because that was more of a Ben Affleck, Jennifer
know.
Garner thing, right?
I know.
'Cause it's which is a terrible Daredevil.
I know, which was fantastic that they referenced it, and she was like, "It's fine, whatever." It's fine.
And also, I'm sorry, I appreciated her cameo, but also the worst Elektra ever.
It's definitely bad, but we all appreciate.
Like, when she first dropped as Elektra, you're like, no. Like, okay, so this is why Hollywood doing the DEI crap, where you got like Black Cat, who's getting race swapped now in Ultimate Spider-Man. Like, they're trying to make up for crap like Jennifer Garner as Gardner as Elektra, because like that was supposed to be not a white lady, supposed to be a Latina. And so it's like Hollywood is just like, well, we got to swing the pendulum the other way instead of just cast for the character in the book, dude. Like, don't be doing weird race swaps. She should not have ever been Elektra. Sorry.
There was Daredevil. She's like, he's dead. He's like, my condolences. She says, it's fine. It was so great. I caught it and I was like, nobody else in this theater. It's 7 people in the theater. Nobody.
My wife texts me and says, whatever, I loved her as Elektra, because my wife has never read a comic book in her life and loved Alias. So that's how that happened. That's how that happened. And I love my wife, but she's wrong.
Greek.
Was she Greek? Well, I always like, okay, so all the art always made her look like more dark skin, dark hair.
She is. Yeah,
right?
Greek.
Yeah, so Greek.
Yeah, that's right. She was Greek. That's right. Yeah, I'm the noob.
The name is Greek.
That's right. Yeah. No, dude, correct me, because I'm always the guy that
It's cool.
looks at the art and doesn't know the stories that well. I'm kind of retarded too. But yeah, she was more Greek.
Actress who's like Greek to play her. You know what I mean?
Catherine Zeta-Jones, like 20 years ago, would have been great Elektra.
She's
okay.
The ironic thing is
she's
she's
Welsh. But she looks the part though.
She
like
does.
I don't care. Like she looks the part.
She does. Should we even keep showing this if this is D23? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, we'll skip it all.
New York is what it's always been. Out for blood.
Out for blood.
Oh.
For blood. And Vaughn, never hesitate on correcting me, because I'm usually wrong. Because I'm usually wrong. She is Greek. And I'm looking at the comic book right over there. How do I not remember?
Greek knows.
The entire system.
Okay, so real quick.
Wow,
Foggy.
that guy's getting older. Holy shit, Foggy.
Foggy Wilson. Me and my wife went to high school with him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we went to high school with him.
It's cool.
He was in Mighty Ducks when we were in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, me and my wife went to high school with him. He was not very nice, actually. Not a nice guy. No, not a nice guy.
Foggy.
Oh, Foggy.
Andrew Keegan, on the other hand, super nice guy, then went crazy. And I don't know if you guys know who Andrew Keegan is. Me and my wife went to high school with a lot of people that were in movies. Because we lived in LA.
Right.
Against you. Mr. Murdoch, for the comment of the stage. It's often David versus Goliath.
David versus Goliath.
And then we get John Bernthal as the Punisher.
And, oh man, he's so good.
You don't know what I'm going through. He's good.
He's so good.
He's good.
He can guttural scream and yell anything. And people are like, yeah.
Well, would you want fries with that?
Oh, fucking eat your family. He knows he's scary when he wants to be, and Punisher needs to be kind of crazy. Have that little
unhinged and angry.
Yeah.
Like, well, his wife is dead.
Am I ready to hand you down?
Ooh, Good cut. Nice edit.
That wasn't a bad edit. That was
Nice
not a bad edit.
Nice edit. I like that. And also, hold on. Can we just comment on that axe? That weird little like full tang with a paracord wrapped utility, like utilitarian. That I don't know what the hell that was or where the hell they got it from, but they can throw it back in the garbage because that's crap. And no, and the Punisher would know that.
He would.
You don't like the tomahawk, the tactical tomahawk? What are you talking about? It's a tactical tomahawk.
It couldn't be more offensive to the idea of axes in general. It is garbage. It's just like it's like a what do you call a liquor store pocket knife versus like an actual pocket knife. Like it's not even a liquor store pocket knife anymore. It's like you literally just like let some guy from Pakistan just pour a bunch of stuff into a mold.
Wait,
and
how?
like sharpen it up, and then like put some paracord on it. Let's send it to the U.S. A bunch of idiots wearing tactical vests that are going to the Capitol are going to carry these.
How dare you talk trash about my Midway USA tactical tomahawk? How dare you, sir?
Hey, I'm not gonna say that it wouldn't be good to throw at somebody at some point because it would still be very effective. But
we have an axe snub here, guys. We have an axe snub here who does not appreciate. Was it cricket or CRKT?
CRKT.
Full tang.
That's correct.
Midway USA.
Plang, plang.
None of the Bass Pro. We will not have any of this Bass Pro cricket CRKT.
I don't know why. Okay, sorry. I don't know why that made me upset. All right, we can keep going. It's fine. That's fine.
Look, Dr. Till is from Arkansas and he knows what is what. I rock a Smith & Wesson tactical spear myself. Exactly, brother. Exactly.
Tactical spears go
because
above and beyond.
When you don't have a firearm to do things to boars, Smith & Wesson tactical spear will suffice in Arkansas.
Yeah.
Handle or blade, heavy for throwing. All right.
Can't go unchecked.
We get a peek at the white hood, the yellow, and the red. So are we gonna get yellow Daredevil? Are we gonna get Frank Miller?
Let's do it. Oh my God.
Wait, who the is that?
Oh, interesting. Isn't with that white mask?
Yeah, who's that?
His like is that David Bowie? Is he back?
Is it David Bowie?
I don't know. It was very artistic. The mask was. It's like he's definitely an artist. Is that The Weeknd? Sorry,
I didn't know who it was.
Oh my gosh, there's so much time on this, and I feel like we're gonna get copyright struck.
It does seem like we really do understand each other.
Oh, at a diner. Where do you think they are? Do you think they're Midtown? You think they're downtown? You think they're in the financial district, the arts district?
They're in Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. Well, yeah, they're in Hell's Kitchen. But I'm trying to have fun.
Hell's Kitchen. Man.
He's got the American flag lapel on his lapel.
Oh,
so
he's political now.
He's going to be political.
Yeah. Well, obviously, he would have to run as a Democrat
Mayor.
because the Democrat Party is essentially a criminal organization parading around as a political party.
Would he have to run as a Democrat?
Yeah, he would.
Though? Actually,
well,
in New York, he definitely would.
Yeah, and also the DNC is
how he wins.
Criminal
mayor.
organization.
It's got to be mayor, though, right?
Can we stop pretending like the DNC is anything but a criminal organization parading around as a political party? Please, can we stop?
The DCU is a criminal organization?
The DNC.
Oh, okay.
Can we? Dude, bro.
Can we?
Can we, please?
You live here? Yes. Well, maybe you know what a zombie is. When a person dies and is buried, it seems there's certain voodoo priests who have the power to bring him back to life.
How horrible.
It's worse than horrible because a zombie has no will of his own. You see them sometimes walking around blindly with dead eyes, following orders, not knowing what they do, not caring.
You mean like Democrats?
I used to trick or treat at his house in Toluca Lake, and he gave full-size candy bars, sometimes 2 to 3.
Bob Hope, you rule.
His house is lovely. It backed up right to the, I think it's called the Bob Hope Golf Course now, or something like that.
Yeah, in Toluca Lake, by the smokehouse.
Right on the way.
Yeah. Yeah, so good.
So the smokehouse brunch on Sunday. Oh my God.
You know what we need to do? We need to do a road trip back to Cali, and then we need to invite Vaughn out there, and then just hang out there for a week and do all kinds of like videos for the show. Just the three of us hanging out in LA.
This is gonna happen.
Being douchebags.
Well, that's definitely gonna happen.
Yeah,
well, I mean, that's just right. All right, we got a minute left.
Jesus criminy!
Wow, they're gonna lay it on thick.
So if you step out of line, I am gonna be there. This caution that you're giving me, who's it from? Matt Murdock or your darker half?
Ooh, Matt Murdock.
Oh, because I know who you are. Duh. Like, and who is it? Is this the same sit down from which one of the prequels, the Star Wars prequels, where he's sitting across from the guy in the diner and he's like, "Oh, I thought Jedi would know the difference between knowledge and wisdom." Oh, and you're like, "What? What? Okay."
All I know is the last time they tangled, Daredevil spared him. So don't give me this like you're gonna give into your darkness shit. Like he already did this.
It was when they were like in the jail that there was this amazing fight that Kingpin had where he just like demolished this dude. Was it the second season?
That was I think that was the first season.
Okay, maybe it was the first
in the jail scene.
It's been a while. He was so impressive. It's so great. He was such a great Kingpin because he's already so big, and they went out of their way to make him feel extra large.
Yeah. Greatest role though that Vincent D'Onofrio has ever done, other than the Kingpin, because he is like, I don't even think anyone's ever going to be able to top him as Kingpin. The Salton Sea.
Oh, the Salt. Is that a Val Kilmer movie?
That's a Val Kilmer movie, but
oh wow,
he is in it, and it is so good. Look it up. You're welcome.
That's yes.
You're
that
welcome,
is a movie.
America.
Yes, that is a movie you need to see. That is. I was working at a video store when that movie came out. You gotta see that movie.
When I think of Kingpin, I think about the first time I probably ever really read him and understood him in Daredevil: Born Again by Frank Miller. And they fight in that, and like the way Miller, like when they're fighting, the faces that Kingpin makes, there's just this amazing grimace he does with the teeth and the brutality of him. And Vincent D'Onofrio recreates those images when he freaks out and beats the shit out of people. He gets his teeth out. He looks like a Frank Miller drawing come to life, and it blows my mind. Like, that's when I knew he was Kingpin, when I first saw him freak out and like murder the hell out of somebody with a car door or some shit. And I was like, oh, this is Kingpin. So
I will go ahead and tell you guys that in Silence Do Good, there is an homage to Frank Miller and his Daredevil run in the first page of issue 2. And if you don't recognize it, I don't want to know you.
Yeah.
I don't want to know. But it's there. It's right there.
Oh, it's there. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Oh,
he's showing it.
Quick. Because
oh man, it's going to be analyzed tomorrow. The internet is going to be blowing up with breaking.
No one cares. No one cares. No,
they're going to do it.
Strike a lot of channels, bro.
Oh man, bro. No Full Metal Jacket. all of a sudden it was like
Daredevils.
disco dancing. Was that 2 Daredevils? Is that what that was?
It was like a yellow Daredevil fighting a red one, or am I wrong?
It was Flare Devil.
Flare Devil.
Yeah. Get over here.
It was he was like, get over. He's like doing the scorpion or the scorpion. Yeah, get over here.
Ooh. I did, man. I was such a big fan. Like the first 2 seasons, I was really into it, and I was at the same time. I was the Jessica Jones, and then the Luke Cage. I was drinking all that Kool-Aid. Then the Iron Fist came along, and it was like, oh,
This tastes funny.
Then the Iron Fist came along and kicked you in the dick, and you were like,
Jonestown
I was like, I didn't ask for gas station sushi. Thank you very much.
That's right.
Glare Devil is when he wears the mirrored suit.
Glare Devil. Oh God.
And the guy liner. You gotta don't forget the guy liner.
Thanks, Glare Devil. That we're all blind.
Flare Devil is covered in glitter and pins.
Oh my gosh.
That's your David Bowie.
And Daredevil is when he cross dresses as a female.
And Daredevil. What?
Oh God damn! We gotta have Dr. Till on as a guest, very soon.
That is,
you know what we got? Okay, so we're gonna have Dr. Till. So here's my plan, guys. Here's my plan. We're gonna have Dr. Till on very soon, and then we're bringing Vaughn back on with Dr. Till, and then we're doing a 4-man show. 4-man show with the 4 of us.
Oh,
because
man.
that'll be amazing.
I mean, I don't even know how we're gonna do that.
I think it will be. Canada will weep and America will cheer. That's what will happen.
The Canadian government has apologized for Brian items on several occasions. Yeah, well, let's get Dr. Till on here. Because
no, we'll have Dr. Till. We're just be the 3 of us, and then we'll bring Vaughn back with Dr. Till.
Oh my God, I'm dying. This is so funny. Okay, are we still watching this?
I don't know.
What kind of a lawyer are you?
Blind lawyer?
A really good one.
All right, that's good. We're gonna.
All right, are you gonna clap for that though?
Well, so I'm excited because I love Daredevil.
I
love Daredevil. Sorry, I do.
But that was I don't know. That was like you've been given access to this D23 event. You are going to be energetic. Make sure to clap at the end. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, so this is good, but I mean, I wasn't ready to clap yet.
It's no Deadpool because, let's be honest.
You had to be there. You had to be there.
You had to be there for it. And the best part about Deadpool might have been the beginning and the end. You know what? Basically, okay, so what I loved about Deadpool is that Deadpool's like, I'm Marvel Jesus. And then you watch the movie and you're like, oh wait, the beginning is really good and the ending is really good. And the middle part is kind of oatmeal, like you're eating it.
It's
like the Bible.
The best lessons, a whole bunch of ridiculosity, and then the best lessons. Let's go ahead and wrap it up with the best lessons again.
Oh, it's exciting in the beginning. You're like, oh, the world's created, and then there's like these guys, and they're doing stuff, and there's crazy shit going on, and then the middle is like oatmeal. You're like, oh, and then the end is like, and there's 4 horsemen, and there's like plagues, and like it's like a horror action movie. So like, basically, what I'm trying to say is that Deadpool and Wolverine and the Bible are the same thing.
There you go. All right. Expect some letters, some emails.
And
the greatest story that ever told is the Bible, pretty much. The greatest story ever told, right? And if you could follow the structure of good stories to make your own awesome too. So it mirrored that. Why not, right?
It did. Yeah.
It's a creation myth.
The greatest story of all.
Hey, look. As a person that is a Christian, I like the Bible, but I also will tell you that there are parts of it that you're just like,
And she beget him, and they beget this.
Oh my god, dude!
And
So
then
much
a
lot of begetting.
So much begetting. Enough with the begetting already.
Begetting already.
Deadpool might be Marvel Jesus though, because I was really down on the MCU, and I now am excited again.
So does that transfer over to Daredevil and make you excited for the new Daredevil?
I like Daredevil. I have high hopes. So yeah.
Like a day one watch for you type thing.
Oh yeah, me and the wife had not seen a movie since 2019 Christmas Day. And until Deadpool, I might actually go back to the theaters for Daredevil Reborn.
But what do you mean theaters?
They're gonna do theater showings.
It's Netflix, isn't it?
Wait, no, it's a Netflix
Disney
series?
Disney Plus.
It's not going to be in theaters?
There's the look on your face. Oh no!
It's not going to be.
Sorry, telling
Hold
you
on.
this.
Hold on a second.
It's gonna be episodic, right?
I thought I had an article. Hold on. What was it?
Wait, is it a series? It's not a movie. I'm so sad.
It's supposed to be a Disney Plus series. The continuation.
Just do
of Netflix.
movies, guys. I don't want series anymore.
It is a Disney Plus series, so they are completely moving. Right. They are completely moving. The deal with Netflix has ended, and they're completely moving platforms to Disney, which is going to be. I mean,
New York Marvel Studios not happy.
Okay, here's the big question though: is all of the existing Marvel content that was on Netflix, is that also going to be available on Disney?
It already is. I mean, all the Netflix stuff is. It already is.
I didn't realize.
For whatever reason, I thought the Daredevil stuff was going to be a movie. I didn't. Okay, well, they're doing a season 4. Okay,
I mean, they got to do it as a series. You can't just do it as a movie because there's so many moving parts. You have to do it as a series so that there's certain episodes that can. You could, but you need the episodic so you can focus on the different parts of the story, and you don't have to do it all at once. You need an hour for each one, or 48 minutes, or whatever the heck that is they're doing. They scrapped the original shoot, and Burrow,
Brott,
and Brott. Sorry.
Typos will fuck you up.
I was all bruh. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry.
I love you guys got to check out Dr. Till's show though, because he's like the only comic book nerd, and then he always has all his buddies on that make fun of him for loving comic books. And it's like, dude, I love your friends that come on your show, but you need to be around some comic book guys again, because you're the only one carrying the torch on your show.
Before I forget, there was a guy. So, VONSTER, you may not know this, but me and my lady, we own a records and plant store in small town Iowa, and the record store is actually, I mean, the place is buzzing. The vibe is fantastic. We're always getting in new stuff. People bring in their collections of records and sell them and whatnot. This guy brought in this great collection of records. He's coming back tomorrow, but he was like, I'm also a big collector of comic books. Oh. I have he's like, I don't know, maybe 3,000 comic books. And he's like, and I take care of them. They're all in the sleeves. They don't mess with anything. He's like, I've only graded 500 of them. I was like, dude, what?
That's a lot.
And he's just trying to sell everything. He's selling me all his records.
Whoa.
He's trying to get rid of. He's like, I also have 200 posters. Are you interested in posters? I was like, well, and I'm standing in the record store. I'm like, well, are they music posters? If you got music posters, that might be a thing. He's like, oh no, mostly NASCAR and stuff like that. I was like, oh, okay, so something that a guy would have in his garage or something. Not necessarily my collectible, but you should bring in a few of those comic books, because I'm curious what you got. Because
I keep saying you need to turn your houseplant record store into a comic book houseplant record store.
Comic book,
and that's a good segue for. What? Thanks for joining us, Paulus Arts. We're about to start. What is our album of the week?
The album of the week. I apologize. I had to switch cameras because I had the computer was like, your camera's about to shut down, and I was like, that doesn't sound good.
I just
Should
can't
I
do that.
Should I get that checked? Do I need to go to the doctor? Yeah, I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave. What the record of the week this week is? This is one of those things that it's an album.
Amazing record. It's an amazing record.
Incredible album that I didn't listen to necessarily as a kid. It wasn't necessarily a big thing for me growing up. I heard the songs over the years, but the other day I found an original copy of this song. What is it? 82. This 1982 album, and in incredible condition. And I went, oh my gosh, I should just put this on. And I couldn't believe that the entire album was oh my god, this song's in this song's on this album too. Oh my god,
it's so good. You think it's a greatest hits. You think that it's a greatest hits album.
You think it's a greatest hits album,
great album,
but it's not. It's just a great album because it's by a band who, at this point, like the album was just destroyed. It was just an absolute banger. We're talking about Duran
Yes.
Rio.
Yes.
And this is an original copy. Super old school. I think it was just in 82 that they initiated the barcode or something. So you can usually tell like the age of your records and some items just by the fact whether they have a barcode or not. So that's pretty awesome. But this record, I put it on the other night and I did the exact same thing that Salty was saying. I was like, did I put in a best of? I'm like, there's no way all of these songs are on this record. Every Duran track that you like is on this record. It is not from start to finish. It is fantastic. So you have Rio.
And because we're always at the Salty and Savage show trying to make America 80s again, this had to be our album of the week.
And I was looking at the cover artwork and I was like, oh my God, it's so cool. I would love a giant poster of. I mean, it's so retro. It's so that 80s, like it would be a piece of art in the movie Cocktail or something. Like
This really embodies the 80s and was a very famous cover and done by that artist. What's his name? You see his work all over the place.
What's his name?
I thought you guys knew.
No, I can't remember his name, but everyone had that poster. Like all the Wall Street guys.
Yeah. Well, it's like that style becomes like an iconic of the time, and that album at the same time is iconic of the time. So it was their breakout album, man.
Yeah.
Rio. It's what made them huge.
Well, because you got Rio, Savage was saying, you got Rio, My Own Way, Hungry Like the Wolf, Save a Prayer.
I love Save a Prayer.
Yeah. Save a Prayer is so
New Religion, Last Chance on the Stairway.
Every song's a banger. I mean, every song's a banger.
It was so good. I put it. It was one of those that I put on, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna know like half of these songs, and every song. But me, my lady, both we just kept looking at each other, going, "Oh my God, this song is on this album too." It's such a good album, and
it's one of those.
It's one of those. Yeah, it's like a particular Journey record or like Doors record that you're like, wait, these are all the songs that I know. These are literally all of the songs. It's just absolutely phenomenal.
The only song that is missing from this album that should have been on this album, and I wish was on this album, mainly because of UFC fighter Crow Cop, is Wild Boys. But that's another Duran Duran album and another Duran Duran song that is awesome. That only Ukrainian UFC fighters that were in the Secret Service could walk out to and not look gay.
Oh,
in their tracksuits.
And so that this week makes Duran Rio our record of the week.
And Andrew Campbell says, you probably were conceived hungry like the wolf.
It's no.
I wasn't. Savage wasn't. Neither was.
Nope. It was 1980.
Vaughn.
It was 1982.
But
too late. It's too late.
It was conceived in a haunted hotel.
Potentially.
You were conceived in a haunted hotel?
Yes.
can see. Were you really, Vaughn, or are you just making that up to add to the mystique?
My dad said that I was, and then he turned and looked at my mom, and then my mom started hitting him, which I think means it was true.
Or he was
just
like
fucking around.
Or he was just saying, he was like, oh, it was haunted because that's where I got you pregnant.
Oh,
he's like, oh
yeah,
man,
like I'm a ghost baby.
That's right. He's like, that wasn't. I didn't do that.
But I mean,
all
what
right,
hotel isn't haunted, you know.
That's great.
Before we call it, guys, we're gonna call it a little early tonight because I'm tired. I got a lot of work to do. Let's watch one more time.
Oh.
Man, I make cool trailers. Don't mind if I do.
No, I'm really looking forward to reading this. I can't wait to get it. You guys should get it too. Vaughn, we really liked having you here, man.
Yeah, brother.
Man, you guys crack me up. Great conversations, great people. Thanks so much for having me. I had a really good time. And I love your little segments too. They're great. I didn't know the show was so well done and everything. I would have dressed up a little more. No, for real, you guys are great. And thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for being here, man. We really appreciated having you. We really did.
Yeah, the chat too. Love you.
It was
guys
awesome.
for
Oh, can I just get a quick nod? I was checking out your Twitter, obviously, and a few of your things beforehand. I noticed you gave a shout out because like yesterday was the anniversary of Monster Squad.
That's right, sir.
I was as a kid, I was such a huge Monster Squad fan.
Nice.
And I love that you were like, no, I'm gonna go ahead and recognize this. I know that you know Monster Squad. I believe what was it? 37 years ago, Monster Squad came out, and your thing is what my 37 years of Rudy.
Yeah,
is it Rudy? Rudy, my favorite teenage vampire hunter ever.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
I just wanted to acknowledge that because I had seen that earlier, and I was like, dude, I just have to give him a shout out because he's definitely one of our peeps because I super appreciate the love for the Monster Squad.
Yeah, we're definitely doing a 4-man panel with Dr. Till and Vaughn, and that'll be great. Because
I wonder if you could have that actor on, Adam Lambert or whatever, who plays Rudy, on your show sometime.
Oh, really? Adam Lambert.
That'd be cool.
Might be
Adam
possible.
Lambert. Isn't that the guy that was on like American Idol or something?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
Adam Lambert stole his look from me back in the early 2000s.
That's right.
You mean the gay look? The gay look.
You know, the gay look that got the girls. So whatever. Whatever. Although Adam Lambert is super gay. So but anyway,
the eyebrows, you know how it goes, guys.
Really enjoyed having you, Vaughn. Loved hanging out with you.
Cheers.
Guys, check out the links. They're in the chat. The Baron is sharing them. Twitter, Rise Again Comics link is there too. And then his Indiegogo campaign for Kataru, the witch hunter. Witches get stitches.
That's right.
Oh, snap.
Bitches.
That's pretty funny.
We did get a few bitches along the way. Yeah.
And we love to have it. Was a fun show, man. Yeah. So I guess play us out, Savage.
We're gonna play us out. We're gonna go out with the Salty and Savage theme song. Thank you so much, VONSTER, for being here. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody, the chat and everybody coming to the Salty and Savage show. As always, we're going to play out with some dope music, little outro, and we'll see you next time.
Salty and savage.